$260 fucking holster. 260 fucking bucks. I was like, holy fuck. Yeah. But they're nice because, I was talking to my boy Seichao about it, and I was like, because I showed him, finally put the weapon line on the Glock, and he was like, oh, yeah, dude. He's like, yeah, that's fucking dope. I was like, yeah, I guess getting another holster now, because the holster I had was for a non-light bearing fucking shit, which I can still buy it Omnivore and it's still good, but I want to get something specifically for the Glock that's not in the waistband, something I could actually put on my battle belt and have that.
You can still do that with Omnivore.
Well, I know I can, but I'm saying, like, I really want a Safari Line holster. I want to treat my Glock right, especially if I'm talking about, getting a different slide for it, getting fucking suppressor height, fucking sights, getting a fucking thread barrel for a fucking suppressor, and then, just doing it up. Like, I really want that thing to be fucking, like, fit. I want to good. But, I'm maybe not a threaded barrel, man. I don't know, because, I don't ever anticipate myself buying a suppressor unless Texas, wins that fucking lawsuit, and we can get suppressors made here in Texas. If that wins, then hell yeah, I'll fucking get a suppressor. I'll get a suppressor for the AR, for both ARs, get a suppressor for the fucking pistols, like, I'm spending money. Remain up.
Don't let us spend a lot, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Let's bring on the shit.
Good old deadhead.
Want to talk to your beer, buddy?
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah, just throw the flag. Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, let's officially get started.
Alright, let's do it.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of Blue Collar Shock. It is just myself and good old
Fabian. And
we're continuing with our Halloween themed spirits. This one we are quite excited about. I'm very excited for it.
I'm extremely excited for it too. So I bought the fucking bottle. I was like, yeah, hey, I like it. Because we were doing the rum, and I was like, did you get that? And you're like, yeah. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. It's Spirit Halloween time. I'm buying this fucking bottle, and we're fucking drinking it, man. We're doing it.
Yeah. And like when we were doing rum, I wanted to do it too. But at the same time, well, you know what? It didn't really seem the right time for it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, hey, I'm glad we held out because, like, this is, perfect for the month. Like I said, Halloween is fucking, it's my jam, dude. It's shit, dude.
Alright, so with that, we're going to tell you guys about this bottle, so would you take it away?
Yes, so the spirit of the week is a Deadhead aged rum. So, wash out the back here. So the Deadhead rum, so with it being aged, it is aged 6 years. It's a 6-year aged fucking rum, and it contains pot and column still with single blended rum made with sugar, cane juice, and molasses. What's this? Hecho in Mexico. So this is a Mexican rum. That is interesting. I did not expect that, but it does not have any kind of reviews or like anything on the back saying, "Hey, yeah, fucking voodoo and shit like that." Smells good. Let me see if I can find something on the interwebs about the Deadhead rum.
Oh, okay. I want the glasses.
Yeah, this.
Fuck. I said, so we're gonna do this one a little different. Those of you on YouTube will kind of know what we're doing. Spotify, jump over. Normally we take a shot or shooter of this stuff. This time, Babe wants to mix it up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do, you can do it differently if you want to. I'm gonna take a shot of it first, and then I'll mix it and then kind of compare the two.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well. Okay.
So while you're looking at it,
they got another one. So this is one of the Deadheads. The other one is a fucking monkey head.
ooh,
So that's fucking dope. But it doesn't really learn more. Doesn't have an about of 6 settings, fucker. Our finest single blended rums are made with sugar. You have to learn more.
what makes it unique other than the bottle? Fuck that.
Fine aged rum from the jungles of Chapayas. Yeah, so their single blended 6-year aged rum has a rich amber hue and a bouquet saturated with the aromas of coffee, chocolate, allspice, cinnamon, and nutmeg, all which carry through the palate along with the flavors of clove, anise, and caramel, all play in stupendous balance. Long, spicy finish, and an excellent sipping rum. Assertive aromatic and brilliant flavors make it a great choice for use in classic tiki cocktails. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So this is more like a regular chocolate rum, and this little monkey head on this is dark chocolate.
Oh,
So it's a little bit darker, and then yes, it even tells you how to make certain cocktails: Dead and Stormy, Straw Bestios.
And what website is that? Is that the Deadhead website?
Yeah, deadheadrum.com.
Okay.
Yeah, Tiki Cup, Shark Attack, Atomic Iguana, Jesus. Zombie, V is for Victory, The Witch Doctor, Tahitian Exile, man, some of this shit I can't pronounce.
So either way, this shit can be mixed a lot.
Ooh, Deadly Mary? That looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, holy shit.
Yeah, they got a lot. Guys, check out that website.
Yeah, Deadhead Rum. If you're going to get the Deadhead Rum, you go to their About Us or Learn More section, and they have a fuckload of just, hey, this is how you make
good shit with that shit.
Yep, we literally click on it, right? So I just clicked on this dark citrus one just to check it out, right? 2 ounces of Deadhead dark chocolate rum, 4 dashes of Hello Orange bitters, over muddled raw sugar cubes. Add ice, grease orange oil over ice and a rim of glass, then garnish with orange peel. Some fancy shit.
Some fancy shit.
That's some fancy shit for it being fucking Deadhead, man.
Alright. Let's try that as a shot. Okay. Not what I was expecting.
Definitely has the spicy in, like you were saying.
Oh yeah, definitely does.
It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
No, I was honestly expecting like, oh, why are we doing this? It's definitely a mixed drink kind of thing.
No,
That's what I was expecting.
It's for it being a rum, it's not as good as the Booba or Boo Boo or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as good as that, but this is still relatively good for being what it is. And the bottle looking the way it is, I can definitely see myself sipping on this for sure over some rocks. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that's not fucking bad for the price point that I bought it at. So
I like it. All right. Shall we try it with some cola?
yeah, sure, man.
Let's try this with some cola. Yeah, it does judge my point scales, okay? I'm not a bartender. Haven't been one in a long time.
Yeah, that's a fair amount. Oh yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, you did.
Pretty good. Kiss my hand. Fuck, dude, this cork's out. This cork's like, oh, I never got to get it in. Dude, I just look like Coke now. It just looks like Coke.
Oh, I want it to be a fucking mixed drink, dude.
Yeah, so we fancy today.
Yeah, we got that. Cheers.
Oh, dude. Oh yeah, I'm about to take a shot. What am I doing?
That compliments it very
Okay,
well.
was that like about half and half, right?
No, more than half. Coke is more than half.
Barely, probably.
But even still, you can taste the rum in it, and the cherry and vanilla really complement that. I really legitimately think I could do that. Like, have this
That's good, yeah.
Have this on a regular basis. This
Yeah, that's good.
particular rum and then cherry vanilla Coke, dude.
That's good.
I could definitely fucking drink this all the time.
I'm glad you only brought like a little thing of Coke. 'Cause
Yeah.
We probably have a bottle.
I'm probably going to be making myself more of this throughout the fucking podcast. This shit is really good.
That shit's good. This shit is good. Okay, so for a shot for a shooter, I drink it 3.
Yeah, middle of the road, for sure.
Solid sherry. It's not the best we've had. Like Boomba so far is by far the best rum we've ever had.
Yeah, that shit's so good.
But this one, it's a good contender. I would not complain if somebody brought this over to them.
Oh, absolutely not.
I would not complain. I would not complain if we went to a party and said, "Hey, you want some of the deadhead?" Fuck yeah,
bring that shit on.
I like it. You know, I'm happy with it. As a mix with some cherry vanilla cola, this is dangerous.
Oh yeah,
this shit is 5.
And what I think it is, I think it's the mixture of like all the flavors that are inside of it. They mesh very well with just in general Coca-Cola, but that cherry vanilla Coke that adds a little bit extra. You know what I'm saying? The vanilla kind of mellows out with the chocolate flavoring inside of it, and the cola just fits with everything else. You know, the cherry is just good. So, so as a shooter, I would probably give this like a 3.5. I do genuinely like it. I've had some pretty rough rums. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had to choose between Kraken and Deadhead, I'm certain you would choose fucking Deadhead.
Just without a bad.
Right. Kraken is so good. Like,
Kraken is good, but me and Kraken got a history.
Yeah, me too. That's why I love it.
Hey, old chum.
How you doing, you son of a bitch? But, no, this stuff is really fucking good, dude. I think I made a solid fucking choice.
You did. I'm really tempted to try the monkey one.
The dark chocolate one, yeah.
Dark chocolate one now.
See, they don't have that at Specs, but I imagine if you looked around, you could fucking find it, or at least order it online, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just the monkey head itself just looks really fucking cool. But that, you know what I'm saying, for the price point, which I think I paid like $38 for that after taxes, like maybe $40. Not a bad price.
Not a bad price, and it's a cool bottle.
Yeah, it's a solidly fucking cool bottle. Like, I genuinely fucking enjoy that. Bree fucking hates it. So anything I love, Bree, she's gonna be like, fuck that. That shit's fucking.
Well, they say opposites attract, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, you know, like she's my light. She's the light to my dark. You know, like I like fucking fucked up. Like, dude, shit, dude, the movie I was watching this morning, fucking shit, man. It's on that horror iceberg list I was telling you about. It's called Tetsudo Iron Man. Yeah, dude, that shit was fucking crazy. It's not anything Bree would like, but it's like it's body horror. It's body horror. Like over time, the body's like fucking morphing into this thing can't be recognized. Like dude's dick becomes like a giant fucking like drill thing, and then he like fucks his girlfriend, like kills her with it. Like it's all kinds of fucked up crazy, man. Wow. Yeah, mad crazy, mad fucking crazy. But no, yeah, dude, this shit is really good. I just genuinely like this.
Dude, okay, so moments like these made me really appreciate the fact that we started this podcast.
Oh yeah,
because we would have never. We were like, oh, that's badass, but we were like, nah, we can't justify the price.
Right.
But now we're like, oh, we're doing it for the show. We're doing it for you guys.
Yeah. We're trying to bring you guys content to, consume.
And we're getting a little bit out of it because we're getting a little buzz off of this stuff. Not now, but
sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but it opens up our palates and stuff. Like I would have never recommended Boomba to anybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what it is. Yeah. Like I would my go-to rum, would have been fucking Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
Or Kraken.
Yeah. Or like Captain Morgan or Kraken.
Yeah, Captain Morgan Kraken. My go-to whiskey, which I already knew about, like Lead Slingers, right? I already knew about that, but you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know what I'm saying? Your go-to might have been, maybe Jameson or some fucking gin or some Jack. You know what I mean? And not to say that those companies don't make good quality shit, because they really do.
Yeah, they do.
But this has forced us outside of that comfort zone of drinking what we normally drink. Even that month where we did different beers, we got to try different things that I've actually come to really fucking like.
Yeah.
Like that one beer we drank, the Devil's Backbone. I was telling you right before we started the podcast that, dude, fuck.
Yeah, we definitely need to get some of that before the month is up.
Oh yeah. Yes, that absolutely fucking fits. In fact, I think we should do that beer the week of Halloween.
Yeah.
The week of Halloween, I think we should get 2 6-packs and just Devil's Backbone. Let's fucking go. Then whatever spirit, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, man. Yeah,
So if you guys like this, comment, subscribe, all that kind of bullshit. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post up the episode. It should be at least once a week.
Yeah, absolutely once a week. If you guys have tried any of the stuff that we, with us just starting the YouTube channel, and if you go back and listen to all our old podcasts, if you guys, hear us, trying a particular type of spirit, and you go and try it, comment down below. Let us know. Let us know what it is out of all the spirits that we've tried. Which ones have you grabbed? Which ones have you tried? Do you agree, disagree with our? If you agree, disagree with our reviews of them, do you have your own take on it? Definitely comment below. Let us know. Interact. We'll definitely try to get back to you guys and comment back.
And if you have any suggestions for anything, please let us know, because we definitely love it.
Yeah, at this point now where we're at, I think we're definitely a lot more open to suggestions and taking a look at certain things.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's a $3,000 bottle of fucking whiskey, we can't afford that. We're not at that point yet. However, maybe one day with your guys' support and with growing the channel, the community, hopefully we can do so. That's growing the community, growing the podcast growing the podcast altogether, whether that's on Spotify or on YouTube. Just the overall what we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to create content for you guys to consume and enjoy.
And speaking of growing the show and everything, I was just on his show on his Twitch, which was really fun.
That shit was that was a blast. You know what I'm saying? So like Castle Crashers is one of those things. So me and Nate, we played Castle Crashers. I remember playing that back on the 360 in like 10th grade in high school.
See, I've never played it.
Yeah, so like I had a friend named Jerry, and he's the one who actually showed it to me. He had it on his Xbox 360 because I had a PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2. I didn't get a PlayStation 3 until like my junior year in high school. But up until that point, all I had was like my PlayStation 2. But I was playing the same shit on my PlayStation 2. Playing Kingdom Hearts, I was playing fucking Guitar Hero, fucking all that shit. And when I played that, I was like, dude, this is so fucking cool. Like I played side-scrolling beat-em-ups, like Double Dragon, River City Ransom, shit like that. TMNT. So I like side-scrolling beat-em-ups, fucking Streets of Rage and shit like that. But this was like the first time that was something that was styled. It was stylistically, it was different from anything I had played.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, I really thought side-scrolling beat-em-ups were kind of like in the past, the Sega, on the Nintendo, the Nintendo fucking, Super Nintendo, shit like that. So when he busted out and handed me a 360 controller, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is side-scrolling beat-em-up, but with like weapons and shit, and like this is really, really fucking weirdly styled, but I fucking like it. So yeah, it was a blast, dude. It was honestly a blast. Like, and again, for me, it was good to introduce Nathan to the concepts, like the things that I have to deal with as a streamer, things that the balancing of trying to.
Dude, yeah, that was difficult as shit. Like that was like the main. I was like, guys, I'm trying to focus on this game, but I'm getting like the notifications or like the messages from people like commenting this. And I'm like, oh, cool. Hey, let me tell you about this, blah blah blah. Blah. Oh shit, good attack, and that. And then I start focusing on like playing the game. I'm like, wait, I'm not saying that. I need to start talking.
It's a hard balance because when I initially started, I would do that a lot. Because when I play games, like I get very concentrated on what I'm doing, especially if it's a more difficult game. I'm like, what? Oh shit, fuck! I just fucking sit there and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, hold up, yeah, oh, let me go back to the comments. Oh yeah, hey so and so, and probably by that time they've already left the chat. Because typically people, the thing is with streaming, in order for people to really be like on your shit on the streams, you gotta be, people want that interaction.
Yeah.
That's why they come to watch.
Like, hey, if I message you, you better fucking respond.
Yeah, basically, and it's a give and take, though. It's a give and take. And you want a good community that'll support you regardless. Because I have people who will come through, they do what's called lurking. They'll be like, hey, man, glad to see you're streaming. I haven't talked to you in a while. Fucking, it's good to see you stream, man. I'm at work right now, but I'm going to go ahead and hit you with an alert. So they will continue to view the stream while they're working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just listen to it. Yeah, I have it playing, listen to it, or just turn the volume down and just give the support so that way I have my views.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day I can break through the algorithm and someone, they'll be like, hey, we recommend this streamer. And I'm just going to, they're like, who the fuck is this asshole with a non-finished beard? And I'm like, hey, I'm the guy with the not full beard, but I'm trying. Okay? Fuck judge me.
We should get you one of those those little roller things that's supposed to like help exfoliate your skin to grow the beard more. And...
No, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shave all this off and just leave this here like mutton chops.
Okay.
Bree doesn't want it. I told her what I was thinking about doing was shaving all the hair off and just do it the stash. Just the clean stash, just long enough along my lips. She's like, for the love of Christ, please don't. Yeah, basically, but yeah, so we are grateful to you guys. I know, that's something we don't say too often, and I really haven't done that for a while on my stream. But you guys are what makes us. You guys are what drives us to want to make this content.
Yeah.
So from us to you, we're very grateful. What I'm saying? The channel for YouTube's still really small. The podcast itself, it is still growing, and even for my viewers and my my viewers of my YouTube channel and for my Twitch, for you guys, I am extremely thankful. I'm extremely grateful to have your support and for you guys to continue to support my content, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not like these other streamers out there. I don't have really bubbly, funny. I'm funny, but like a fucked up way funny, like a fucking asshole.
So you got the dark humor corner.
Yeah, and the thing is, my content's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Where I'm just like, oh yeah, dude, so happy, positive. I'm just like, man, fuck that shit. Fuck, man.
Yeah, like whenever I post stuff up to the YouTube, you'd ask, is this channel, is this episode like family friendly or kid friendly?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
We will never say we're kid friendly. We will never back that because we are very blunt. We don't hold back a lot.
Yeah,
it can get kind of intense.
Yeah, basically, the thing is, we're not here to really sugarcoat shit. We're blue collar shop, man. We just want to bellyache about the shit of a blue collar worker, and ultimately, again, you're trying to bring as fun a content to you guys as possible, and at the same time have fun. Because I think the thing that people tend to forget as they continue to grow, especially I think in streaming and just like being a content creator in general, it stops being about just doing it for being you, for having fun, doing something you enjoy. Yeah. And then once the profit starts to come in, then it becomes more like a job. Yeah. Once you start to have that little bit of financial shit coming in, and you're like, oh fuck, man, like I'm actually making money with this. I got to continue to like this. Okay, so you put out 100 podcasts, but this one podcast did like fucking, your normal, let's say your normal thing's like 50 listens, right? But then you see that this one podcast did 1,000 listens. You're like, oh fuck, I need to go back and listen to that. What did we do that really created that magic for people to say, hey, fuck, man, I really like the content. And then you start trying to make it more about that, and you stop having fun with it and start saying, well, hey, I think I found the little piece of magic I need to grow. And then you start trying to basically personify off of that and continue to do that. You know what I'm saying?
And you start forcing.
Yeah, you start forcing the content to go in a way that's like, you might have an idea, but you're like, it's not really going to mesh with the type of content that my viewers or listeners expect me to have.
Yeah.
So that I think being upfront and being who you are and having your content just naturally grow, or your community naturally grow off of that, is the healthiest way, because it keeps you mentally, it keeps you from really getting down on yourself and from just forcing yourself to do shit you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, as a content creator, like, I stream because I think it's fun. I do think it's fun. I like to do that. I like to engage and interact with people. But I stream with whatever the fuck I want to stream. You know what I'm saying? So I stream the games that I like. I don't stream what's popular. Now, if what I'm streaming just happens to be popular at that point in time, then cool. But if not, hey, fuck it. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me because I think it's fun, and I want my community to have fun with me and enjoy the content while enjoying who I am. Because I'm never going to put on a fake fucking face and be somebody I'm not.
Yeah, and then I don't think we've ever been about that here. Like whenever we have guests on there, I was like, well, what can we talk about? I tend to ask every time we have guests, and you want to come on, guys, let us know. I ask you, what do y'all want to talk about? And then 2, is there anything off limits that you're like, okay, guys, this is personal, this is just
it's gonna
me and my own. I'm like, all right, cool, right. Not gonna touch it. For the most part, though, everybody's always said, we talk about whatever. All right, cool. What are you into? What do you do? Oh, I do this, I do that, or I'm into this. I really enjoy it. You really enjoy that. I don't mind it. god. Okay, so this is how you know we enjoyed this run, is because this is the first time we've gone back to seconds in a while.
In a while, yeah,
In a while.
And God damn,
I'm telling you, dude, that cork is like
they really want to make sure you keep it.
Shit in there.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, we've always been kind of honest about who we are. For the YouTube, we are a little behind the Spotify guys. We just want to bring you content, guys, of day-to-day shit, daily about stuff that goes on in this world, give you some liquor reviews, because at the end of the day, every blue-collar guy needs a drink, even if it's just a beer, or it's just...
Right, it doesn't necessarily need to be spirits.
Yeah.
We want to try spirits because we're alcoholics.
Yeah, we're alcoholics.
But in all actuality, he's right. At the end of the day, if you've worked you're at the end of your day, you're fucking tired, you've been bitched at work, and you have all this fucking shit that you want to fucking bitch about, man. You're fucking doing your work, and something came on the news, and you're like, motherfucker, dude, I don't fucking agree with that. Or, shit, man, all this shit going on, I got something going on in my personal life, and fuck, man, I wish I had somebody to talk to about that. You know what I'm saying? We want you guys to be able to come here and fucking feel like, man, you know what? Hey, these guys, I want to hear their fucking points. I want to hear their belly aching bitch. And maybe there's something you disagree with, and maybe there's something you agree with. We want you guys to be able to fucking interact with us and tell us like, hey, yeah, fuck, dude. You know what? You made a really solid fucking point. Or hey, that asshole Fabian, that little bitch made a stupid fucking point. And then we want to conversate about it. Let's fucking have a conversation about it. You obviously have something that you want to fucking bellyache about. You're a blue collar guy. Come have a beer. Come have a fucking beer. Come fucking take a shot. And at the end of the day, we'll have a conversation, and then that's it. You know what? We fucking agree to disagree, or we agree, and we move the fuck on like adults.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We don't try to be political, but if something political comes up, we'll give you our point of view, but we're not so blind to the point where we'll be like, well, fuck you, your point's wrong. And it's like, okay, well, you know what? Hey, let me hear your counter argument to what it is that I said. Or, hey, you know what? I don't agree with what you said. Let me counter argue that. Because I have a fucking point that I think needs to be brought up, and it's not something that's really discussed a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? I fucked the one podcast.
Which one?
The fucking Roe versus Wade fucking podcast.
So far, that will forever be our most intense episode.
Yeah, that was a very, very intense episode. I will agree. That was very intense. But at the end of the day, yeah, we winded up agreeing to disagree, but ultimately that didn't fucking, I think for some content creators, that might have fucking split a partnership.
Yeah.
So if fucking this general day and age, most people are like, fuck you, fuck you, we can't be fucking friends anymore.
Yeah.
You fucking see shit like this, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. Dude, you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. We agree to disagree. Let's move on to something else and drink beer. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then we move on.
I think that's exactly how we handled it. At the end, we're like, all right, fine, we're moving on. We both cracked open another beer, and we're like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, fucking cheers it and fucking call it what it was. There was no ill will toward each other.
No.
And I think as an adult, as an adult, being able to have a conversation and not harbor any ill will towards the other person for disagreeing with you is it's a skill that people lack nowadays.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
People have this. It's not even ill will. People tend to have an animosity towards other people who disagree with them. It's just fucking bullshit. It's childish. It's immature, and it's not the way to handle something. You know what I'm saying? You can agree, or you can disagree, or you can whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, let the person have their view. You have your views, and guess what? You can still be fucking friends, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I remember. I think it's Sean Ryan was talking about it. How social media and I think the most divided this country has ever been was during the fucking whole COVID pandemic. You had people fucking you think about this about COVID, you think this about COVID, well, fuck you, fuck you know what I'm saying? And whatever your fucking views are on that, man, look, at the end of the day, your health matters. If your health matters to you, you do whatever the fuck you think is necessary for you. Whether that was to get vaccinated or not to get vaccinated, whether that was to stay the fucking side or go outside and fucking play in the fucking sun and have a fucking hooker fest with blow and fucking whatever the fuck,
It went from so happy and
right, you know what I'm saying? Ultimately, when it comes down to it, I've always told Bree this, this shit's, nothing about what a person does in their life bothers me, whether they're straight, gay, black, white, Asian, Mexican, none of that shit matters. If you're cool, I'm cool, and we're cool. I don't really give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
Life is too fucking short to live to please other fucking people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you need to do for you, because at the end of the day, your happiness is on you. That's on you, right? It's on you. You can't rely on other people to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, you shouldn't fucking rely so heavily on what other people say to get pissed off. You know, if you're pissed off about something, be pissed off about it. But don't use somebody else as an excuse for being fucking mad. If you're mad, just say it. You're fucking mad. I'm mad. I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? And it's not your fucking fault. What you said kind of triggered me, pissed me off, whatever the fuck. But you know what? Ultimately, it's because the ultimate problem itself. It's not because of your view, but it's because of the general problem. And I think there's an issue, underlying issue that needs to be resolved in order to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And people don't have that mindset. It's ultimately my way or the highway. Yeah, fuck you type of shit. You know?
Yeah. Then like I know we've harped on this before, but we're very open to everybody. Like, I don't give a fuck what race you are. I don't give a shit. We all believe red. I don't give a shit what sexuality you are. We all like pleasure. I don't care. Yep. Just don't stick nothing in me.
Right. Hey, yeah.
We can hang out and we'll drink, have a beer. I invite you to cook out. I don't care. Just don't stick nothing in me.
Just don't touch my pee-pee or try to put anything in me. Bree will kill you.
You won't do nothing. Bree will kill you.
Bree will kill him before I would.
Probably, yeah.
Bree would be like, that's my man! Hey, no! That's my baby! Yeah, pretty much. That's my penis. Like, oh, shit, run!
So, yeah, that kind of stuff. So, I want to tell you guys, we went to the gun show, yesterday? Yesterday. Because my days are so long now.
Yeah, we went to the gun show. We were supposed to go to the range, but fucking range ended up getting fucking rained out. So, yeah, fortunately, wind up buying all this fucking ammo and not getting to use it. So, stockpile. Yeah, but I need to cycle. I have like a box of fucking home defense rounds from like 2016. Yeah. I just need to get rid of them. Yeah, I need to burn them. Because I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I want to throw a shout out to our favorite little ammo supplier now.
Oh, yes. He's, okay, so our next fucking guest, or not next guest, but the guest that we're going to be having on,
hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon, yeah. We're going to get in contact with him and try to work out a date, because, he's currently working the gun shows.
He's a businessman.
Yeah, he is a businessman, and he's currently working the gun shows. He not only just works the gun shows, he does sell ammunition nationwide. I actually had a conversation with him prior to us seeing the gun show, and then, he even further, he even went into further detail as to, what was going on with the business at the gun show. So, to our boy over there at All Guns Blazing Ammo Supply, fucking shout out to him. Solid fucking ammo, good fucking prices. I'm talking best fucking prices I've seen in a long fucking time.
Yeah, you're looking at almost pre-COVID prices.
Yeah, like solid fucking prices. It's almost criminal. It's almost like he fucking is losing money.
He's almost screwing himself.
Yeah, but he still makes a profit margin and he's still doing good. But like, dude, fucking his price.
What I love about him is though he's not in there to make a whole bunch of fucking money from one person, a huge profit margin.
Right.
He wants reliable, loyal, happy customers to come back and give him a little bit of profit, but they come back regularly.
Right. It's better to have that, because you have certain vendors out there that be like, oh, I have 500, I have 5,000 rounds. They'll sell all the ammo individually at a very high price, or they'll say, hey, we're looking for somebody who's a wholesaler who can actually give us a good amount of profit in return, and they just buy it wholesale. So it winds up fucking the little guy who's just like trying to buy a box of 9, and it's like fucking more 29, fucking $30 for a box of 115 fucking grains. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Ammo was never this fucking much. You know what I mean? And the prices he has, dude, I haven't seen prices like that. Honestly, in a long fucking time.
Yeah. And this dude's selection, if he doesn't have it, he won't get it for you.
Oh yeah.
He does not have it. If you're like, hey, I need what's some crazy calibers out there?
6.5 Brindle.
Yeah, 6.5 Brindle. That's a pretty hard one to find.
Yeah, 5.7.
338 British. That's fucking hard one to find.
5.7, dude.
Yeah, 5.7 hard.
50 A&E.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I want to say it's hard to find. It's just really expensive. Yeah, really fucking expensive.
And he will because I think after you had left and I was still there, I had to walk by him one time because I introduced him to Michelle.
Yeah.
And then the customer asked him if he had any 338 Magnum.
I'm sorry, what?
338 Magnum. It's like
What the fuck is that?
50 cal, 338 Magnum.
Okay.
That's like the biggest you can go without hitting 50 cal.
Oh, so like 338 Lacura.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm just kind of just overheard him. He was like, yeah, no, I don't have any right now, but you give me contact information, I'll get it for you. I was like, yeah, this is like,
Yeah.
I'll get this shit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And he's a really good guy. I love the way he talks, and you know, he's very honest, very upfront and everything. He's like, hey, this is my profit margin. I'm not making a whole lot of money off it. This is for you guys. I think he said like his biggest loss is what, like 9 million?
9 mil. 9 mil is his biggest fucking loss. I don't know if he said anything about 5.56, but I do remember him specifically stating that 9 mil.
And 9 million is the most popular handgun round.
Yeah, that is the most popular handgun round next to, what, 45, 40.
And he's there just to, he even told us, he was like, hey, I want people to be happy, be able to have ammo, to practice themselves, to get practice.
That was his whole thing. He's like, I want to supply people with ammunition. That's my whole goal, is to supply people with ammo. And like just that thought process by itself, I think is absolutely
that's amazing.
He's a solid fucking dude. His, like I was telling you at the gun show, he has a very, very magnetic personality, and that's what I think drives his success in his business. Is just his overall attitude and the way he treats customers. And you know, I have never known a fucking dealer out there at all to be able to deliver ammunition, but he does, because he doesn't have a brick and mortar store. It's, you know, wholesale, and he sells online and shit like that. But you know, dude, I thought it was dope. I was able to buy fucking 3 boxes of fucking 9 and get it delivered to my house. Mm-hmm. Literally, all I had to do was just walk outside, just to let him know where the apartment was at. But you know, ultimately, he arrived at the building. I met him outside, and that was that. He even fucking pulled out the boxes, pulled out the fucking rounds to make sure I was like, he was like, hey, this is 124.
Yeah.
I'm not selling you 124 grain box and selling you 115 grain.
Yeah.
You know, he's very, very honest, very, very honest businessman, and sells solid products.
We can't wait to have him on. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm fucking super ecstatic. You know, I'm glad I was able to secure him prior to the gun show, and then we confirmed that you know, having him on the fucking show.
We were so happy with his store. Like, I bought some ammo from him at the gun show. There's probably, what, 10, 12, roughly about a dozen vendors who sell ammo.
Yeah.
I don't think we looked at a single one other than his.
No, fuck no. I mean, I looked to see, just to kind of see what people had, but I wasn't really looking. I was looking for him, and then, you know, found his table, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. So, you know, he has a very, very big selection, and it's crazy for him being a wholesaler, you know, him buying, wholesaling, and selling the way he does, and not having a brick and mortar store. Yeah, fucking crazy ass selection. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. So, probably by the time this episode comes up, it'll be about the middle of the week. He will be up in Amarillo, Texas, at the gun show up there. And if you guys are in the Amarillo area, I know some of my friends are up there. I'll let you know. Go check him out, dude. He's really, really fucking good. Trust me, you'll know who he is by just his personality. He's like, this dude's awesome. How we're talking about. And what else did we find at the gun show?
More of the same, man. You know, more of the same, man. That's all that I got. So I saw a fuckload of guns I would love to have. I'm too poor. I think the highlights for me, because I saw a couple of XDMs, like, but they were Springfield XDM Elites, so they had a flared magazine well. But, you know, I told you, dude, like, when I had my Springfield, because I want to get another one, I enjoyed the fuck out of my Springfield. It was a solid fucking gun, and I want another one.
I've yet to find a Springfield that I've enjoyed, but I've only fired maybe 2 or 3, and I can't even remember which ones they are.
See, I'm telling you right now, I've fired several different Springfields myself, and most of them I actually really don't like, most other Springfields. But that XDM, I had a friend who had a competition one, solid fucking gun. So I went and got the same thing, but mine was just a little bit different. Mine wasn't a competition. Mine was more or less kind of like that Elite, you know what I'm saying, without the flared magazine well. I had the suppressor height iron sights. I had fucking a threaded barrel for a suppressor. It just all around was a solid fucking gun. And I'm telling you right now, if you were to shoot one, dude, you fall in love with it. The trigger is fucking solid on those guns. It's just all around the way you felt it, the way it fits in the hand fits fucking fantastic. And just the overall ergonomics, like for me personally, I fucking got absolute control of my gun. I fucking loved it. So I thought it was a fantastic gun. The Yeah, that FNX for
That
fucking
FNX.
40. Oh fuck, man, that FNX 45, dude, fucking beautiful.
That's one of my highlights.
Yeah.
That show, that FNX 45.
That fucking Glock 19, that was fucking had the fucking candy skull on it. It was all white and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever shoot it because it's white, man. It's so pretty. You know, I don't know if I'd ever want to shoot it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a dope ass fucking little gun. But yeah, you know, I mean, more of the same shit that we always see. But all in all, I still think it was a good gun show. You know what I'm saying? That Osprey optics company was there, but they didn't have the fucking not knockoff, but their version of like an RCO. They didn't have it there.
Yeah,
So I was like, fuck, man, because that was a really good deal. I should have just bought it, man. But Bree would fucking rip my nuts off and fucking defend them to me.
What does it say though? Better ask for forgiveness and suspension.
No.
No.
Not when your nuts get ripped off. She's like, yeah, I'll forgive you after you eat these salty nuts, you little bitch. Probably. And puts it in my butt. Not my nuts, but I don't want to talk about it. Alright, so, yeah. Anyways.
So the gun show was good. So I always enjoyed every time they come on. Jake's first show.
Yeah, it was Jake's first show.
First show. We lost that motherfucker so much. He got so excited and wandered off. He's worse than the kid in the candy store.
He really is.
He is worse. Like, we would be going down the aisle, and then I look around like, where's Jake? Where the fuck is Jake? I was talking to somebody else. He fell for every vendor. Like, hey,
sign up for a raffle. Yeah, sign up for a raffle. I'm like,
they sign up for every one of them.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm pretty sure he signed up for like every single fucking raffle, and I was like, dude, like, chill. Like, I get you want to get some free shit. I want to get some free shit too. You don't need some free candles.
I'd like for candles, but I can't burn them in the house. Just breathe asthma.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, I'm obsessed with asthma. I don't know what the fuck it is, but
I think everybody does. It's kind of different.
I don't know. It's weird, man. Yeah, I guess so, man. Because I was like, what the fuck, man? This is just the smell of the candle. She's like, no, yeah, the smell. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever, man.
Maybe you try those like unscented ones.
Fuck no, man. The fuck I ain't trying to burn unscented candles in my house. Because I like scented candles. What kind of fucking, what does that even mean?
What about like the clean linen one, like the laundry smelling one?
I like the ones that smell like fresh rain, shit like that. Like it has a smell, but it's like a clean, crisp smell.
Yeah.
I don't like super sweet smelling shit. Like, dude, oh my god. As soon as September hit, they started putting out those fucking pine cones for like Christmas. Yeah. Oh, fuck, that shit drives me crazy. I cannot stand that smell. It's way too fucking sweet smelling. It fucking makes my stomach hurt. I'm like, ugh. I want, like, when I'm walking to a place, I want to smell. I want to smell like maybe like cigarette smoke. I don't mind smelling cigarette smoke, gasoline, coffee. Guns, fucking gunpowder burning. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm very particular on my smells. Or like that really, if it is sweet, I'd rather it be a clean, crisp kind of sweet. It's sweet enough to be like, it smells good, but it's not so overpowering. You know what I mean? I wish they had a candle that smelled like gasoline.
I know they make a bar of soap that smells like gunpowder.
Do they?
Yeah.
Bree wouldn't like that. She doesn't even like, dude, she fucking hates the Dr. Squatch soaps.
Does she? Really? Like all of them?
Yes. She said I smell like a fucking natural grocery store.
Really? Maybe like, there are a few that I'm like,
no, she did not like it. Like the Yoda one is the only one I think she was moderately okay with. She did not like the Darth Vader one.
I like it.
I did too. She's like, no, you smell like an old man from a grocery store, like from a natural grocery store. Like,
I don't like the Darth Vader.
I like the Darth Vader one too. Oh, I like the Obi-Wan one. The Obi-Wan one smells good. I think the Yoda one was my favorite smelling one though. I do want to get some more, but I want to get the pine tar because dude, that shit.
Yeah, that
shit
is amazing.
Dude, it smells so good. So I think she might like that, but like for the most part, she's like, nah, you smell like a natural grocery store.
Yeah.
You smell like an old man.
I have one of the ones that what's it called? It's called the Chihuahua. And to me, it smells like chocolate. It smells like chocolate, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's too much for me, man.
I don't like it.
Like the Darth Maul one, and when I went to go smell it, fuck, dude, dude, that one smells so, yeah, fuck. I don't know why, man. It smells like hardcore cinnamon.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh god, dude, it's too fucking sweet, man. But I gotta use it. I bought the motherfucker, man. I don't want to use it.
Yeah, I feel like my favorite's gotta be the pine tar, and then the bay rum, and then there's another one, I can't remember the name of it, and then it's the dark basil one.
See, they have one. I want to try the soap for it since I really, really like the shampoo conditioner that I got for it, along with the deodorant, which was it's like Clean Fresh, something Ocean Fresh, something like that. Fresh Falls Fresh, I think. It's supposed to be like a fucking waterfall.
Yeah.
Fresh, like that shit smells really good. Like that, really, really likes to smell that. So I think if I'm gonna get anything else from now on, it's probably gonna be that or the pine tar. Because the pine tar smells really good. She hasn't had a chance to smell it, but dude, it fucking smells great.
Yeah, right down there the last whenever I get it.
And then I do want to get that new Star Wars collection.
Yeah, the new one that came out.
Yeah, I do want to get that. I feel like I need to get that.
Alright, anyways, off of basic rant.
Yeah, right, shit.
You got an upgrade for your gun.
Yes, it is.
You got an upgrade for your gun. I'm super excited for you.
I am excited for me too.
I want to tell people about your new upgrade.
Right. So you guys have seen the Glock before, right? I mean, this normal.
It's always the camera.
Right, normal Glock. But I did wind up getting me the Streamlight TL1 HL, TLR1 HL. So wind up getting a weapon light now. Extremely excited for it. You know, just overall, after putting on the light, you know, I really was expecting a little bit more weight, but no, this is actually an ultra lightweight fucking light. So now that I have the light on here, I feel like I need to have a red dot. Because one thing I noticed is that when I utilize the light, it kind of tends to wash out the white outline of the dot and the field goal. So when you're looking down, especially in the dark, it's hard to track that from the post because it's so fucking bright. I'm like, oh shit, oh god, where's that? Where's it? Okay, got it. So I feel like now because I have this light, I need to have a red dot to be able to effectively be able to acquire my target as quickly as possible, or get basically to assess a threat as quickly as possible and be able to put rounds quickly on target without having to try to track my fucking sights. Because the thing is, if I don't go that route, then maybe I might go suppressor height tritium sights, but I don't even know if they make tritium sights that are suppressor height. So if not, then I might just put some night sights on this and call it good. But even then, I don't know how the night sights are going to react with the brightness of the light.
Pretty good, because my other M&P has the tritium night sights, and it's smooth as shit.
Yeah. So then that
I had no problem with it.
Right. So then that might be something I might do because the slides for the Glock 45 MOS are pretty pricey. They're damn near the same price as the fucking gun.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I gotta get the slide, and then I have to go fucking find a good red dot, which probably another $500. Yeah, I'd be looking at. Well, the Trichicon RMR I think is like $200. So it's not a bad little red dot. A lot of people run them and say they're fucking solid, but we'll say I've been practicing. I've been kind of clearing the house and essentially trying to
get acquainted to the light.
Yeah, basically, try to get better acquainted with my setup now.
I think if you gun out of the box, if it's a good reputable brand company, it's a good gun, you're set to go for the most part. But a lot of shit does go bump in the night, and not everybody, if they have a gun bedside, they don't have a light. You're shooting in the dark, and there's so many stories, there's so many incidences where a dad's clearing the house because he heard a bump and he thought someone's breaking in and goes to shoot, and he shoots Uncle Tommy, who's crashed out on the couch and he forgot about it because he was drunk.
Right. No, it's funny you bring that up because I was watching Cully in the Water the other day, right? And he actually made a video, top 5 things you should have on your defensive gun. And the first thing that he said, if anything else, if you don't do anything else to your firearm, at the very fucking least, you want to have a nightlight. You want to have a light. You want to have a light source. Whether your light source is connected to your gun or not, you still want to have some form of light. Whether it's a handheld flashlight or it's a weapon light. Obviously, weapon lights. Weapon light is preferred because that's going to give you freedom of use of this hand without having to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because even then, you could still have use of this hand and be able to grab your mags. Because Roman actually teaches a course on how to use a weapon light separate from your gun and still have free use of your hand. Basically, you take like a fucking cord, wrap it around the flashlight, and then you wrap it around these two hands here, and you still have dexterity here to be able to grab without having to drop the flashlight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it gives you the ability to fucking flashlight light offset, and then fucking once you've identified the target, then require offset it. They're trying to shoot in this direction. Last place they saw a flashlight, so you know what I'm saying. But he was talking about Colin Norrell was talking about there's been tons of horror stories where there was this mother who thought someone was breaking into the house, went and fucking shot and killed her 27-year-old daughter. She thought somebody was burglarizing the home.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't found guilty because she ascertained what she thought was a threat. But unfortunately for her daughter, and for the mother at this point, who's lost a daughter at the hands of her own about herself, has to deal with that. So, same thing. A dad shot a 16-year-old son. Son was sneaking in. Dad didn't know he snuck out, so he hears someone sneaking in, thinks it's a fucking robber there to get him and his son, and he kills his own son. So
yeah, and then even more personally, I remember a cousin of mine. He almost shot his own brother whenever his brother came home drunk one night. I think because they're still living with their parents. Came home drunk and was locked out, so started climbing the window. His brother, my cousin, went to go like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on?" But had a weapon light on him and said he had the trigger pressed, ready to go, like half a pound, and the would have gone off. And identified that it was his brother, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck you doing, dude? I almost fucking killed your ass." And yeah, like it's extremely. And that always said is people want to get like a laser for their gun or get a red dot. I'm like, first, spend your money on a decent light. Yeah, even if it's not on the gun with a weapon light, get like a little decent flashlight. But I like on the gun better because it's one thing to grab.
Yeah. As opposed to trying to grab two things, you're fumbling around.
Yeah.
Heat of the moment.
Yeah, it's one thing. I just need to grab the gun. Right. Grab the gun, have the light on it. Cool. Clear my house. I'm good to go. No, nothing's going on. The gun up. I don't have to worry about it. Right. That's why I'm not. I get the advantage of having these separate.
Yeah. For tactical reasons, it makes sense. But at the same point in time, you make a very good point. You're a standard person. If they're not training like that and training like that often, trying to train to be able to offset from a target if they're in a gunfight, and it's a fucking gunfight at night. If you're not training like that, at the very least you have that ability. Which, granted, not a lot of people understand light discipline. So your standard person is going to go and clear their fucking house, with that flashlight. Which, granted, it's your fucking house. As you're clearing out the rooms, fucking turn on the goddamn light. It's your house. Yeah. You having light gives you the fucking advantage. So if you can turn on the light in your house and fucking be able to ascertain who the fuck your target is and basically have a quick understanding of the situation, that could fucking be the difference between you shooting somebody who is a threat or isn't a threat. You know what I'm saying? Or being able to fucking be like, oh shit, hey, that's my fucking kid. He's got a snack at night. Or hey, that's somebody who's trying to rob my house and have a gun. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, being able to identify your fucking to identify the threat, whether it's a threat or not, is extremely fucking important. That will often save you, in court. That'll save you the heartache of possibly killing somebody you love, or being able to fucking have that advantage in that gunfight.
Oh yeah.
So it's extremely important to have a weapon.
Yeah, but like you think about it too, like somebody breaks into the house at night, their eyes are already adjusted to the dark, right? Anybody who wakes up in the morning, super early in the morning, or when you wake up your kids, somebody's waking you up and you fucking dead tired of sleep, or you're been up all night and it's dark, and somebody turns that light on in your room, and you're like, wow, what the fuck? Everybody goes like vampire type style,
Yeah, basically.
Same thing, fucking flash the flashlight in their eyes, whoever it is, oh my god, what the hell
Well, I mean,
You're
you're talking about 1,000 fucking lumens. You're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, god damn.
Yeah, especially put that strobe on.
Oh yeah, well, you know, that's what I've been practicing is basically trying to ascertain the target and then switching over to keep it on. So what I'm talking about is essentially, you know, coming up here, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that way I keep that strobe on. They're like, oh fuck, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I've been trying to practice doing that, you know, even one-handed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's again, it's a skill that I'm trying to ascertain, you know, to shoot with the weapon like on this particular platform. Because thing is, yeah, you know, if it's the middle of the night, I would love to grab my AR. You know what I'm saying? But that may not necessarily always be the first thing I go to. You know what I'm saying? This being my bedside gun, you know, another thing that Colin Underwater was talking about. The next thing you want, typically in the order of operations, is light and then capacity. You want a weapon, at the very least, you know, 18 rounds in your gun. Well, you know, all right, I'm short a fucking round in my mag, but, you know, if I load this bitch up to the max and put one in the chamber, I have 18 fucking rounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I may not necessarily always be able to be conscious enough to be like, oh, fuck, I need to grab my battle belt with my extra mags. You know what I'm saying? Or even if I keep an extra mag next to the bed, you know, my first thought maybe not necessarily is to grab an extra mag, but to go and fucking try to, you know, figure out what the threat is as quick as possible and, you know, put that to stop the fucking threat.
Yeah.
So you want a gun with that has a good amount of fucking rounds. Unfortunately, for those people who live in places like California, New York, you have a fucking magazine restriction. Unfortunately, you're going to need to figure out a way to. You have to figure out a way to be fucking of sound mind because you're gonna need a spare mag. Because the thing is, you know, if it's a home invasion, you're not even at that point. You're not looking at one singular fucking threat. You're maybe looking at 2, 3, 4 fucking people.
Yeah.
And you know, you may not necessarily have that ability to grab that spare mag. Well, you know, 18 fucking rounds in this. That's almost as much as a standard, as almost nearly as much as what my fucking my AR-15 holds. Standard fucking mag is 30 rounds. This is 18. That's a little more than half of what an AR-15 mag is. But even still, you know, I can still take on a couple fucking threats as long as you know, I practice and have training. You know, being able to have proper shot placement and understanding the dynamics of my house. You know, being able to take on multiple threats in this, you know, in that particular space is important. So I think 18 rounds from this Glock is extremely feasible. But again, you know, I want to have something like, you know, just a little extended mag like this, you know, go from 17 to 20 fucking rounds mag, you know, then I'm looking at 21 rounds, I'm almost fucking at where an AR-15 is.
Yeah. Well, see, like with me, for the most part, a lot of times during the day, guys, I swap between guns. During the day, I'm carrying my 10mm M&P. It has a light on it, but I only have one light. So when I go to bed at night, or if I'm thinking like mixing it up, I'll swap it out to my other M&P, which is the 9mm, which carries 17 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. I do have a couple magazines with extended base plates that puts me at 23, 24, 24 rounds total. More than enough, and that's usually the gun that goes with me on my bedside. So that does have the tritium night sights, and it does have longer barrels, has better sight radius, and I'll have the light up. So I swap the light out. You know, eventually I do want to get to the point where all my pistols will have the exact same light. I've had this light for almost over a year now, and I'm very comfortable with it. I'm very just intuitive with it. I don't have to think about it at all. Right. I have had instances where at our old apartment to where we came home with the kids and everything. One of the friends was like, "Hey, I heard somebody in the house." You know, he was coming by hanging with friends with the kids, but he was outside. He was like, "Hey, I knocked on the door, but I heard somebody inside. I thought you were home." I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What the fuck is in my house? This isn't in the middle of the day." I'm running upstairs. You know, everybody stay downstairs. As soon as I come in, I'm turning that fucking light on. It's broad daylight. The lights are on in the house, or some of them were on, some of them weren't. And I'm still cleaning the house. That same light is the same light I have on here, and it's just, I don't know. I love the light. I love for what you're getting for 120, 150 bucks, give or take, where you get it from. Right. I think it's a great light. 1,000 lumens. Same battery I've had in there for over a year now that I've done drills with, I've practiced with, you know, million times, hasn't broken, haven't had any battery issues, haven't had any issues with it. I think it's a great fucking light. Now don't get me wrong, Surefire makes some great fucking lights.
Oh yeah,
They make some great fucking lights.
solid.
I don't want to spend $300 on a flashlight. That does the exact same thing that's going to do for me.
Yeah, and see that's where I was at for like the SIG. You know what I'm saying? The SIG, like that's my everyday carry gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's I carry that to and from. And, you know, that's just my everyday carry gun. Has my night sights. You know, whatever the fucking. Typically, you know, leaving work, the parking lot is very well lit, so I really don't necessarily need a weapon light, but I still want that ability to have that weapon light. So that's why, you know, the next weapon light I get is going to be for my SIG. It's going to be the TL7 sub.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, some people would argue that the Surefire X300 would be a better weapon light for my SIG, and you know, and that may be the case, but that TL7 sub is still going to do the same fucking job, and it's significantly cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think the X300 is like a fucking $350 fucking weapon light.
And that's what I've always kind of made the joke by. I'm like, yeah, they named it 300 for the fucking price.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You know, it's an expensive weapon light.
Yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong, they're extremely fucking reliable. They're extremely good. But Streamline, I have two of them. One on my rifle and one on this, and I've never had a single issue with any of them.
Right.
I've abused the shit. I'm not like, you know, I'm careful with my guns. I don't want to break it. No, I've used the shit out of them. I've dropped that gun. I've dropped it on multiple guns with that light on it. Nothing's fucking happened. On purpose to see if this light's gonna fucking break. And they do offer like a lifetime warranty. Now I want to see if this light gonna fucking break. Nothing. Right. So I always recommend Streamline. I like
Yeah,
Streamline.
well, I mean, I think the next light I'm gonna buy, and when I buy the next light, I'm gonna buy the outside of because I think I'm gonna hold off on the SIG just because I do have the weapon light for this. So if I need to carry a weapon light, I have to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Next weapon light I'll buy is gonna be an O light. It's gonna be for my rifle, but
See, I've never tested out OLED. I've heard mixed things about them. I've heard great fucking things. I love that they're rechargeable, but I've also heard, I've had it went out on me in a week, or I've had the battery exploded. I'm like,
right, and the thing is, well, I mean, the price point for it. I mean, what I'm looking at is about $140.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's a bad price for a weapon like that. Prior to that, I had, you know, one of my handheld Surefire on that fucking thing, which, you know, it's a good thing, but I have to fucking do my hand in a really awkward fucking way to get the weapon light on and stuff like that. So, you know, want something a little bit more streamlined, something where I can still have free use of my hand, have it on the weapon, and still have the ability to use the light. But I don't know. I think I want to try O-Light. I mean, I saw the Streamlight or the rifle. I just, you know, again, like right now, I'm still kind of in between the Streamlight and that O-Light. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I know Bree wants a weapon light, but she wants the O-Light that I was showing her, which is about $200, which has the light laser combo. But she really wants a fucking laser for whatever fucking reason. But it's like getting EOTech. You know, you can fucking quickly ascertain your fucking target without necessitating the need of a laser. You know what I'm saying? It's not Call of Duty. You're gonna tighten up your fucking hip fire spread by having a fucking laser. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The thing is, if you're in a gunfight with that gun, that EOTech is gonna be fucking on you.
Oh, yeah.
That EOTech, all you're gonna fucking
EOTech, yeah. Well, with that, guys, we're gonna take a quick little break, and we're gonna jump into our main topic, which is everything Halloween related, especially movies.
Yes.
And we'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, we are back once again. Thank you guys for sticking with us. And we're going to get into the main theme of this episode, which is Halloween.
Yes, I want to suck your dick. I mean, your blood.
Where'd that come from?
What? No? What? I didn't even say anything, bro.
We want to get into, we're going to start with movies. Top 5 Halloween themed or like Halloween horror movies.
Just horror movies in general, man. Yeah, I mean, 'tis the season, right? 'Tis the season. So you bring up a very good but very hard topic to discuss because I watched many of the fucking horror movies. So when it comes to horror movies, I have a special little app, and it's literally nothing. It's literally the Netflix of horror movies, and it's called Shudder. My stepmom actually told me about it, and dude, the selection's pretty fucking good, and their originals are fucking crazy good. So, top 5. It's really hard to fucking say.
Okay, let's start with number 5.
Okay, number 5, I would have to say, okay, number 5. Number 5 for me is going to be Halloween. The Halloween 2018 Halloween, right? So it's a return to form. Essentially taking out everything that happened from the original Halloween. So the original Halloween happened. That's canon.
Yeah.
Everything that happened after those movies, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, all the movies that followed before that, Halloween 2018. Those are considered not canon. You know what I'm saying? It technically didn't happen in the universe of Halloween. So that new Halloween in 2018, and then of course the newest one, which was Halloween Kills, and then the one that's coming out here in roughly about a week, which is Halloween Ends or something like that. So I think what really had an impact on it for me was like the beginning of the movie. So you show up initially to this. It's almost a callback to the original Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, these interviews show up to this mental facility where Michael Myers is being held, and you know they want an interview, right? So he has a new doctor, some fucking crazy looking dude or whatever the fuck, right? And so you know he's talking about Michael and basically saying this is where we keep him, we let him out or whatever. But it's fucking crazy because it's basically like big ass squares where they have these individuals who are like psychotically fucking crazy in their own individual square, and there's a giant fucking like yellow red line that's like do not cross this line. And you have like fucking all these crazy ass fucking people out there, people howling like dogs, fucking singing like, hey, fucking howdy doody, you know, like fucking crazy shit, right? And all you see is the back of Michael Myers, but you see him in like a fucking crazy person's outfit. You don't see him with the mask on, but you see the back of his head. And you're like, oh shit, that's Michael Myers without a mask, right? And the interviewer's just like fucking, he's just like, hey man, hey Michael, I want to know all these things. I'm just trying to interview, right? And he just like starts screaming. He's like, everyone said, like all the noise starts getting really loud. These people, fucking crazy people, screaming and screaming. This dog is fucking barking and barking. And he's just like, say something, say something, say something, and it goes right to the Halloween theme. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude. And it just, that fucking beginning scene for me, I was just like, dude, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. This is fucking Halloween. And just overall, the stylistic things they decided to do in that movie, just overall was just really fucking good. The music and the way, the other scene that really pops out to me is when he's walking through these houses and he kills something like 3 or 4 fucking people. And of course, like walking in the back of his house, kills this dude in the shed, goes in the house, beats this woman to death with a fucking hammer. Grabs a knife, walks through the house, passes by the baby, looks at the baby, doesn't kill the baby, walks off, walks into the back of this woman's house, and this woman's looking outside. She goes, it's so scary, blah, 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 blah. And then all you see is her just on the phone, right? She gets up her phone, looks out the windows, getting ready to close the blinds, and then Michael just stabs a fucking knife right through her throat, sideways, just fucking like she's meant to go. And then he pulls her back, and I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Whole fucking scene, dude. Like, just, that movie was so fucking good, and it was solid form, like a solid return to form for what Halloween was. So, that movie, to me, I think is a fucking masterpiece. I think it's fucking fantastic. It's a really good fucking movie. So, that's number 5.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Really good. You need to see it.
Yeah, not that much into horror movies that much. So
I know.
I do have some here and there that I like, but
I know.
I like more of the shit that makes you think psychotic thrillers type thing.
Right. So, I have this theory, right? So, you look back to the beginning of history for horror movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Horror movies that really, I'm talking fucking really used to scare people before where we're at in society now with the really hardcore, desensitizing of what horror is, right? You have kids who watch The Walking Dead, And if you look at objectively speaking, like what The Walking Dead is, like how fucked up some of the things that happen on their arcs, there's pretty fucked up things that happen. It gets pretty fucking dark. You know, ultimately, if you look at zombies now versus zombies in the 1960s, zombies in the 1960s to people were fucking terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
They were scary. You know, this is the first time. You know, if you look at how the Bible presents, you know, the term or phrase, you know, and the dead will walk again, you know, it's the whole adage that, you know, God will raise, you know, will raise the dead. You know, you live a good life, He will rise and bring your soul to Him with heaven, you know, judgment day, the day of reckoning, you know. And that's the whole thing, right? And it took that little thing, that whole saying, people made people feel warm and fuzzy. You know, if I'm doing good, then, you know, the Lord will rise again and He will take us with us. Turn the whole fucking thing on its head. Yeah. Turn the whole thing on its head. You know, Dawn of the Dead, you know, where the preacher was talking about, you know, when there's no more room in hell, the bodies of the soul and bodies of the dead will rise. Yeah. Because there's no more room in hell.
I remember that. That was
that's a pretty powerful fucking statement there, right? So you look at zombies and you look at how terrifying that shit is, right? Or how it was back then. You know, their first time doing, not even necessarily CGI effects, but doing shit with makeup. Being able to rip flesh, you know what I'm saying? Rip the flesh out. And back then, the blood looked like red paint. It looked like shit. Compared to what there is now, right? You look at the way makeup and effects are now, like literally when a zombie bites, you can see it ripping, and the way that flesh stretches, you can see it. You're like, oh, fuck. You know, I'm certain if people were seeing that back then, they would have had no doubt in their mind that what they were viewing was real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to back then, it was still scary. Yeah. And it was visceral. It was visceral. It had such a fucking had a punch to it. Yeah. Whereas now, zombies, it's a cult classic. You have zombies in video games. You know, you have fucking shows like The Walking Dead, you know, whatever. Like, there's a fuckload of zombie shows. You know, Resident Evil. You know? Oh, yeah. And we look at zombies, it's like, oh, zombies. Man, that's cool. Zombies are cool. Like, zombie apocalypse. Like, I'm not going to lie. You know, zombies don't scare me. I think zombies are fucking cool. I think they're, like, the concept of a fucking body that's rotting, rising from the dead and moving, reanimated corpses. It's an interesting and cool concept. Because scientifically speaking, something like that should not ever be able to happen. Oh, yeah. It shouldn't be, because muscles deteriorate. You know what I'm saying? The brain rots away. As your body decomposes, it's not able to work, down to the point where it's just, you know, bones. You know what I'm saying? It's really all that's left after a body, even after all the things we do to preserve bodies, eventually there's nothing but bones left. Then after a certain point in time, bones become dust. Oh, yeah. So, you know, that whole concept is crazy. But I'm saying, you know, I was talking to Bree about this, right? Zombies, monsters, werewolves, vampires. That shit was scary back then. Now it's like, oh, that's cool. That's so cool, right? But what I told her, things that will always scare people. And I think back to this movie, The Strangers. The Strangers was such a fucking powerful movie. So fucking crazy. The line that they delivered, you know, the girl strapped in a chair and she's crying and crying. She's like, well, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Like, why? And these people were in the mask, and you know what they said? Because you're home. And it puts that fear in you, like, what the fuck? Because we're home? Because we answered the door? Because we responded? And it puts that fear. That's something that's real. That's something that's real. That kind of shit scares people. I think that's why it affects you the way it does, because that's something that lives within this actual reality. Oh, yeah. Somebody breaking into your home invasion, fucking holding your family hostage, you know, beating somebody to death, raping them, and then killing them. You know, like that kind of shit scares people, and it will always scare people because, in all actuality, something like that could happen. As much as I wish zombies would happen, it's more than likely it's not going to. You know, more than likely, unless some crazy kind of medical shit happens and we cause that shit to happen, it's not going to happen. Right, exactly. Right. So, you know, you look at that, right? And I think the only other thing that really fucking scares people, outside of the concept of like home invasion, being snatched up, held against your will, torture, rape, murder, whatever, you know what I'm saying, seeing those kinds of atrocities happen. The only other thing I think that really sticks out to people, really scares the fuck out of them, things like possessions, you know, people fucking say that, oh yeah, it's just another possession movie, just another demon horror movie. But to those people who are really, really into religion, you know, possessions are real. Possessions are real. Demons are real. Those things are real. I can say that with like an unmitigated fucking no doubt in my mind, because I've seen some really dark shit. Because I used to fuck around with a bunch of really dark shit. And I think that shit tends to scare people more than they are willing to let on and admit. You know, not necessarily stuff like Insidious, but stuff that involves like, the church. People actually being possessed. Mm-hmm. Demons, people talking in tongues and shit like that. You go back and look at, you know, one of the very first movies that really ever presented an idea like that was The Exorcist.
I like the number 5.
Yeah, The Exorcist. Okay.
There are a few who are not as good.
Right, but I'm talking OG, the original Exorcist.
Yeah, that was good. That was in my top 5.
So my uncle is terrified. Like so you know, you're talking a man who's almost 50 years old. He will not watch The Exorcist because as a kid it's hard. It scared the shit out of him. Really? It scared the shit out of him. That and he doesn't like roller coasters. He will scream like a little bitch on roller coasters. Sorry about that, Theo. I love you, but you know, that's just it. It is what it is. You know, facts are facts. But you know, if you look back to that, and even now, you know what I'm saying, shit, if you look at shit like The Nun, right?
Yeah.
The Nun, Jesus Christ, that thing is fucking scary. And I can say that as me being as I am, you know, I played this one horror game on the channel, it's called Visage. And you go into this house and you experience all these fucked up things that happen in the house through the spirits. And one of them was this lady named Dolores. And she chases you, she's butt-ass naked. She's a big woman. Dolores is a big woman. You see them big old orangutan titties flopping around. They're big. She want to touch you. I didn't want none, Dolores. I don't love you like that. But you go through and you experience all these things, right? And at the end of the horror, the biggest horror happens. It's not even her as what it is. You know, not even the atrocities of her, you know, like stabbing her husband to death with 7 different knives and leaving him in his study. You know, after she did all that, she went in the room, said goodbye to her baby and hung herself in front of her baby in the room and just butt-ass naked, hanging there, because she heard these voices in her head. Stabbed her husband to death because he was trying to help her, but she was paranoid and thought that he was trying to hurt her. So what did she do? She stabbed him to death in his own study.
Yeah. See, like, as you keep talking about stuff, you're going through my list. So, number 5 for me is the original Exorcist and some of the other ones. I'll lump them all together.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
There are some that are kind of but for the most part, the original and some of the other ones.
Right.
Number 4, Amityville Horror.
Yep, I knew you were going to say that. I knew the minute you said The Exorcist, I was like, the Amityville Horror is going to fucking follow after that.
Amityville Horror is number 4. And honestly, that one, I was thinking about putting that at number 1 because something I just love that movie. Yeah, for some reason I have an inkling to. I just love that movie.
Well, again, it's the concept that shit like that actually happens. Mm-hmm. So you look at like history, like you've seen shit like this, and there was a teaser that was on PlayStation for a while. It was supposed to be the next Silent Hill game, right?
Yeah. We were talking about that on your stream of was it PT? Those of you who are in the gaming community, you might know about this. That game.
The playable trailer. It was intense, right? Scary, right? But in that game, as you're looping through, you know, dude, you like wind up seeing like this fucking fetus just sitting in a fucking sink, and then it starts talking to you. It starts telling you about your shortcomings as a husband, why your wife, you know, was fucking her supervisor so that she could get a raise, and then fucking aborted the baby left in the sink. You loop through again, you see a fucking fridge with a dead body. The radio starts talking in the, like, as if it's reporting the news, how the husband proceeded to murder his wife and kids and shot himself.
Yeah.
You know, that whole concept, it's scary to people because, like, and they look at shit like that, and I think for a lot of people it's unnerving because the reality is, for some people, there are people out there that get so stressed to the point where they snap. They snap because the harshness of what their reality is pushed them to a point where they were like, fuck it, I'm ending everything. And that concept, the fact that that lives in every person, whether they want to admit it or not. Anybody and everybody has the ability to snap in a way that they're so broken they can't fucking fix themselves. So that concept scares me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That I think the concept of evil, true evil, like in the sense of demons and angels and shit, especially if you're a religious person, scares the fuck out of you. And I told Brie, like, those two concepts, the concepts of like an actual serial
reality.
Yeah, the actual concepts of what lives within our reality, those are made into movies. People tend to like those because it makes them think. And it does tend to scare them a little bit more than what you would think.
Werewolf.
Yeah, you know, like a vampire. Yeah, right. The things we, back then were scared of. You know, things we would tell kids, oh, you better behave, or werewolves can get you, or a vampire is going to get you. Nosferatu is waiting underneath the bed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole concept of these things have been made into to be really fucking cool, badass.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you get fantasy games that's like, oh yeah, you could be a fucking Lycan, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm a fucking werewolf, bitch.
Yeah.
You know, but
and they romanticize too. The shittiest example of them all is fucking Twilight. They romanticize werewolves and vampires to the point where everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna a real fucking werewolf or a real vampire. I'm gonna talk about you. Rip your ass apart.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You're right. And again, it's because of the way that media is presented now. You know, those things are really no longer scary. You know what I'm saying? But you can't. But how do you? For instance, the new series that's on Netflix, it's about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, there's a lot of people that show makes them extremely uneasy because it's not fantasy. I mean, granted, the writers took some liberties with certain things about the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, but overall, the atrocities that he actually committed, if you actually know anything about serial killers, he was fucked up. He was fucked up, man. And if you look at it, you go back and look at the history of serial killers. You know, a lot of these shows, a lot of shit that you watch about these people, it's not in the fucking sense of like a movie.
No.
And if it is a movie, they try to be as true to it as possible. The majority of what you watch are documentaries. They're informational documentaries about the atrocities that these people committed. You had like John Wayne Gacy. You had fucking Ed Gein. You had fucking Ted Bundy. You know, BTK. You had fucking Dahmer. You had Richard Ramirez. You had the Son of Sam. You know, the Zodiac Killer. You know, just to name a few. But I think that kind of shit will scare people.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I like Halloween so much. You know, yeah, it's cliche and shit like that. But the thing is, realistically, what if there is somebody? You know, there are people out there who will dress up and be creepy and just stand somewhere with like a fake bloody knife and they'll get arrested because someone will call them like that's creepy and scary. Because people don't want to admit it,
yeah.
But when they're presented with it, they will be fucking terrified.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely fucking terrified. Because it's no longer in a movie. It's like, oh fuck, that is something that could actually happen. It's sitting in front of you. Whether or not it's a real threat, it's something that's presented itself in a scary way to you.
So before we get more into that topic, there's something I want to tell you a story about. I want to tell you guys a story about that. During the whole scary clown phase.
Oh yeah.
There's something I want to bring up. There's a story I have for that. So before we do that, what's your number 4?
Number 4.
I can see like the reel of movies just going click, 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 click. No, maybe no.
Number 4. It's a movie it's an illegal movie. You can't watch it. You can't go buy it somewhere. You can't rent it somewhere. You have to use nefarious means to see it, unless somebody owns a physical copy of it. It's a movie called Serbian Film.
Oh yeah, man. About that.
Yeah, I won't go into details on what happens in that movie, just for the podcast and to try to keep this as friendly as possible. But what happens in that movie is fucked up. There's not an English dub for it. It's all in whatever they speak in Serbia. But the things that happen in that movie are fucked up. And the ending, it's like fuck, dude. Like I can't blame it for ending that way. I mean, if it was something that actually happened in reality, I couldn't see it ending any other way than the way that it ended. And that's a fucked up movie. Like that Serbian film is one of those. It's one of those movies. you have a really weak stomach for atrocious things that can happen against a human being, it's not the movie for you. Your stomach will turn and you probably will not be able to finish it. So, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, so let me get into two retrospective funny stories about the whole scary clown days that people were doing. This was years ago, fucking years ago. I know that shit was going on. It was Halloween. I was trick-or-treating out with my kids and their mom, and they have a good time. And at the time, I didn't have no vehicle. I was staying with a friend, so I was walking for her. But so in the Halloween, we're walking back to her apartment, dropping them off, and I'm leaving. At the time, I started down with me. Right. And I'm walking back down one of the main streets. Some car passing by. It's the middle of Halloween. Everybody's out there. There's this guy down the way, and just solid black with like a clown costume with like a knife on it. With like the whole bloody knife and everything.
Yeah.
Not anything out of that, whatever. And there was nobody else on the street. Nobody walking. It's like a main street. It's mostly for traffic. And he's just standing there. I'm just walking towards him. And then like you can tell we're offset of each other.
Yeah.
And then he kind of sidestepped into where he would be in my path. And I was like, alright. Okay. Alright, now what's going on? I had a gut feeling. So I just stopped. And stared. And then he starts walking towards me. And then starts like tilting his head to the side, all that kind of bullshit. Almost trying to be creepy and shit.
Yeah.
And starts picking up speed, and then he's almost at a full sprint, running at me like he's gonna try to stab me, and just all I did, I don't say a damn thing, and he gets close enough to see the gun. My bad, bro. I'm like, drop the fucking knife, drop the mask, go home. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to play a joke. I'm like, yeah, 5 seconds. No. 2, 3. I'm sorry, and dropped everything, just took off running.
Yeah.
Fucking threw that shit in the trash. Don't do stupid shit.
Because I remember that was a trend.
Yeah, that was a big trend.
It was a big video trend. And I remember seeing all these people get scared, like running away. And I'm like, dude, I would get in trouble because I'd pull my fucking piece and be like, what's up, motherfucker? And they'd be like, oh shit, no. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And some of those videos disclose, like, hey, we did have people pull guns on us, and we had to be like, oh fuck, no, hey, we're just pulling pranks, shit like that. Like, dude, you're gonna get fucking shot.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, like, I understand, the whole like you're trying to make content and stuff like that, but dude, that's not the way to go about it. Maybe getting people with jump scares inside your house,
or if anything, have people who are in on it.
Right.
Like, we're gonna dress up in this costume. Y'all gonna walk down the street late and act like y'all don't know us, and we're gonna jump out and scare you, blah blah blah, and freak out, and we're gonna record it. That I can see. Go for it. That sounds fun.
But when you're doing it to unsuspecting people who may possibly be carrying a fucking gun, that's not worth your life.
Yeah. Don't do that in Texas.
Definitely don't do that shit in Texas. Absolutely not. I can't speak for the rest of the South, but you know what? You will get fucking shot in anywhere that's not Austin.
Yeah. Anywhere that's not Austin. Do it in Austin. Have fun there.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, dude, because I'm telling you, it was just that gut feeling. I was like, this is one of those fucking jump scare fucking things. And I was waiting to see the camera. I was waiting, like, maybe the camera's running somewhere. He's trying to record it. Never found out. But yeah, just.
And the thing is, had you shot him, you would have been justified in that, because the way he was presenting himself to you and your kids, you like, dude, I wasn't for my kids. All I saw was a fucking knife with something that looked like blood.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a real knife, and I fucking shot him.
Yeah.
I ended the threat, protecting my children, and then guess what? You're fucking shot, possibly dead, depending on shot placement, because you want to be a fucking dumbass. So, yeah. Fucking stupid shit, man.
Don't do shit like that, okay? I'm all for spooky and having fun. And
without a doubt. Halloween's a fun time.
Yeah.
Be responsible with the way. Again, you can jump scare people in your house. Just have them over, just have some drinky shit, put on the clown mask, and then maybe wait in the restroom, wait for them to go to the restroom, and then pop out and scare them. Like, hey, that's something funny. You can record that. That's fucking content.
Yeah. That's one. But don't be that kind of affecting people.
Especially not people with children.
Yeah.
If they're out with their kids, dude, don't do that shit. You don't know the psychological effect you'll have on that kid, because when that kid's just out trying to have fun, trick or treat, get candy, that's what they know candy, Halloween's supposed to be. But if you're a fucking adult and you're doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you understand, Mama Bear, Papa Bear might not take so kindly to that. And if you're presenting yourself with something that looks like a real weapon and they shoot you, more than likely that shit's going to be justified. They don't know you, they can't see your face, you're wearing a mask, and you're presenting yourself with something that looks to be a deadly weapon. So if you get shot, I mean, all I can say is that's on you, Nickel.
All right, so moving on, guys. We're gonna move on to our number 3. For mine, I'm kind of differing a little bit. Mine would have to be Shutter Island.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It makes you think. I like the movie.
Okay.
I won't. This is weird because it's my number 3. I won't watch it as much as like Anime Go Forward.
Yeah.
But I kind of enjoy Shutter Island a little bit more. But I won't watch it as much for some reason. I don't know.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah. You don't have to watch something more to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's fair. I think my number 3 is going to be House of a Thousand Corpses.
What do you think about that?
I fucking cherish that movie. I'm sad that the actor who played did Dr. Captain Spaulding. I'm really sad he passed away because he was a really good actor and he always brought something to Rob Zombie's films that I think a little piece of magic was lost when he passed away. And House of a Thousand Corpses, I think it's fucking phenomenal.
Dude, it is.
It is fucking fantastic.
Dude, the opening credits is just so, for me, is iconic.
Oh,
as soon as it plays,
I mean,
you know what you're watching.
Yeah, I mean, you have Sherry Moon fucking dancing around, all hot as fuck, fucking showing her little titties and shit like that, I'm surprised Rob Zombie was like, yeah, man, let me show my wife off, let me show her titties or whatever the fuck, but, House of a Thousand Corpses to me is just so fucking iconic, man, because again, you know what you're watching, you're looking for Dr. Satan, motherfucker, you know what you're looking for. Captain Spaulding's all fucking crazy. You have Sherry Moon, and her character is just kind of like weird and hot at the same time. You don't know what to do with it. You don't know if you should masturbate or if you should, be afraid she's going to cut your penis off and feed it to you. You don't know how to feel. It's a mixed feeling, right? You have the mom who's fucking crazy. The grandpa is fucking loud. You have Tiny. Tiny's creepy as fuck. And I actually think that actor died too. I think he passed away because he was so big. And I think they say people who are that size, they tend to have a lot of heart problems because their body's so big, the heart can only do so much. Yeah. The brother was a fucking psychopath. And you had the other dude, who was fucking hauling off cars and shit like that. Just overall, just the way it was presented and just the overall stylistic fucking way that movie was so fucking good. Just the whole franchise. You had, House of a Thousand Corpses was fantastic. You had fucking The Devil's Rejects, which went off that story. And then you had one that happened most recently, which was 3 from Hell. Yeah. And 3 from Hell was really fucking good too.
I never got a chance to see that.
Yeah, that's on Shudder, and it was really interesting to see. I'd actually heard that it was really bad. But I enjoyed it. I think it was a nice way to wrap up that whole franchise in the way that what it was. So I enjoyed that. So yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses definitely is top 3 for me, and that is my number 3.
Okay. So for me, number 2. And I'm just stick to one movie, but I'm gonna have some honorable mentions before we get to number 1.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So number 2 for me is the original Jeepers Creepers.
I was just talking to Ray about that movie.
The original, all the sequels and shit, they kind of ruined it. They ruined it.
You're talking about the original with Justin Long in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
I remember growing up watching that movie. That movie was the shit. I still love
it. It's funny you should mention that because I was just talking to Brie about it because she was like, why do you like horror movies so much? And I told her, I watched horror movies growing up. That was all my mom really wanted to watch. And I remember one of the movies that really scarred me as a kid was a made-for-TV movie, which was It made-for-TV, Stephen King's It.
Oh yeah.
The original Pennywise.
Yeah.
The original Pennywise fucking terrified me.
Yeah.
The new Pennywise is goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like that dude's cheesy, goofy, fucking makes me laugh, like funny clown, haha. But the original Pennywise, something about that actor really brought life to what it was and scared the fuck out of me. Yeah. But I remember telling Bree, I watched all these movies growing up, right? And I remember when I was like 6 or 7, I wanted Jeepers Creepers. I wanted Jeepers Creepers for Christmas. So my mom got me Jeepers Creepers for Christmas on VHS. And I went and watched that on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, I'm watching Jeepers Creepers on my little fucking 10-inch TV with a VCR connected to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Fucking, you know what I'm saying? The little fucking yellow, white fucking outlets from our PlayStation 2. You know, I remember watching that Christmas fucking day, 6, 7 years old, and I was like, all I want is Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, that movie.
It was, you know, and I remember that iconic song, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those, you know, where'd you get those peepers?
Oh, yeah.
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those eyes?
Oh, there's like that whistle. That, when he's whistling the song.
Yeah.
You can find it on Spotify. It's on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
I like listening to it.
But it's funny you should bring Jeepers Creepers up, because I was literally just talking about that movie last night.
Yeah, it's my number 2.
I think it's for what it was different from what it was, because, you know, you have to beg the question, how the fuck did this guy get a custom plate for his truck? One, how the fuck did you get that? Secondly, just the truck. The truck. Yeah. It was just so fucking creepy. It was so loud, so mean. And then you fucking see the monster and you're like, why the fuck do you need a truck? You can fly! What the fuck is that? You know, and he just, the trench coat, the fucking hat, and it's just like, dude, that is so fucking cool!
Yeah, it is.
You know, fuck, man, it's scary, but it's so cool. I don't want to meet you, but I do at the same time, man. I'm 7 years old, I'm conflicted, I should be afraid, but I'm not, but I kind of am. Fuck, it's such a good movie, man. Like, I remember the visceral fucking imagery of what that movie did to me as a kid, because it confused me. I was scared, but at the same time, for the first time, I couldn't stop looking away from the movie. I was like, this is fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta see what happens.
Yeah.
I have to see what happens.
So some of my favorite scenes in the movie is close to the beginning when he's like dumping the bodies down that pipe, and they're like, what is he doing? What is he doing? And then he notices them, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm not sure how they did it Hollywood magic style, but as they're driving down, it's not like you can see him like shuffling to turn and keep looking at them. It's just him just like hovering and turning and just following them. I'm like, that's so creepy.
Right.
It's so subtle but so creepy. And then that scene when they're at that woman's farm, and he's like on the scarecrow.
Yes, I was on the scarecrow. The
Fucking
scarecrow
shit.
scene, man, I think is probably the most iconic thing from that whole fucking movie, man.
Yeah.
You know, outside of, like, you know, the actual reveal of what the fuck he is, and even still, you still don't know what the fuck you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? The whole tale of him coming back, you know, every so many fucking years to feed and feast. And you're like, fuck, man, how many years has it been? I'm watching. How many years has it been since this has happened, man? What the fuck, man? You know, so, like, just overall, you're like, just, it's so, just, you get so immersed inside of the movie. Especially, again, watching it as a kid, you're like, fuck, dude, what the fuck is going on, man? So, yeah, dude, it's crazy you bring that up, because I was telling Bree, again, you know, just how much, I just, that fucking movie, and then the ending, dude.
No happy ending.
Dude, no happy ending, dude. The song is fucking playing on the fucking vinyl, and you got Justin Long's fucking face and shit, the eyes, dude, just the whole fucking thing. See the eyes pop through his fucking face. I'm like, oh, fuck, man! Shit! That's crazy! They didn't get away. There was no final girl. There was no nothing. Normal horror tropes. There was none of it. It was just the fucking monster wins. The monster fucking wins. And it's gonna happen again. Yep. It's gonna happen again. And you're like, holy fuck, dude. So that's crazy. That's crazy that you bring that up. Mm-hmm. As your number 2.
Yeah, my number 2.
That's fucking crazy.
Alright, what's your number 2, buddy?
Number 2. I'm gonna have to say my number 2. It's one that's a little bit more recent, actually. I think it's 2019, 2020. It's a movie called The Sadness. It's a Chinese horror movie. The whole concept is there's a plague. There's a plague that's going around. It's almost like a Chinese version of The Crazies, but way more fucking gruesome. Way more visceral. Because the crazy is people just went crazy and kind of killed each other.
Yeah.
No, in the sadness, there's a lot of stuff that runs with rape. A lot of that. There are people who are breaking arms and fucking. It's basically a lot of fucking against people's will, and it's a lot of murder. Yeah. And this whole time, this dude is trying to find his girlfriend, girlfriend's, gone off into town to go work, and he's just trying to find a job, chilling at home, right? Mm-hmm. Talking to his neighbor next door, his neighbor's fucking sick, and he's like, oh, I hope you get better, cool, dude that grows, plants in the house next door, cool, no problem. And the shit was fucking sideways. Shit was so sideways. And there was this iconic scene where he's trying to find his girlfriend, and he sees this woman's head floating in the fucking river, and he starts seeing this crazy imagery of himself doing this shit. And it was like at that point you knew he had it. Mm-hmm. He was like, oh fuck, just like trying to snap out of it. And by the end of the movie, he's one of them. He's one of them. He's sitting and telling her, like, I wanna take it from you. I wanna hurt you. But I love you. So let me hurt you. He literally was saying something to that effect, like, I love you and I want to hurt you. Please let me. I want to hear you scream. Wow. I want to watch you bleed. I want to watch you suffer because I love you so much. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? There was a scene where this doctor was trying to, like come up with a cure, mm-hmm. and he was in the maternity section where the babies shit were at. So he took all of the babies into the thing. These babies were infected. He was trying to find a cure for them. Cure didn't work. He threw them in the trash. The girl walks in and she hears the baby like rustling around, screaming like fucking little baby screams in the trash. And she like freaks the fuck out. She freaks the fuck out because like there's dead babies screaming in the fucking trash, and there's a trash can, big trash can full of dead babies, and I'm just like, holy fuck! It's literally a dead baby joke. That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you rather have in your fucking? What's the difference between it's that whole thing. What's the difference between a Lamborghini in my garage and a fucking basket of dead babies in my garage? What's that? I don't have a Lamborghini in my garage. Wow. Right. So I was like, oh my god, they did a huge play on that. And I just remembered, like, dude, that movie as fucked up as it was, like, it was bad, dude. It was bad. I told Bree when I was watching, I was like, you shouldn't watch this. There are certain movies, like, I think Bree can watch, but she doesn't for the sake of, she's so religious, like, it scares her. Certain things, like, with demons and stuff, like, she says it's stupid, but I know it scares the shit out of her, because she doesn't want me to have certain things in the house. Certain types of imagery, or even certain books that aren't necessarily even to do with it. They're storybooks, dark storybooks. And she doesn't watch it because the vibe gets her, like, it scares her. Mm-hmm. So I know for a fact that kind of shit scares her. But there are certain things I watch, and I'm like, you fuck. That was extreme for me, and I liked it. You should not watch that ever. Because I like it a lot, and it's fucked up.
You're pretty sick with it.
So, because I like to be reminded of the harshness of what the world is. It keeps me non-complacent because I know shit like that can happen. Oh, yeah. It doesn't happen here, not as often, and it's not as acknowledged. But there are parts of the world where it happens, and it's so much more significantly worse. And it's something we choose. As one of the most well-informed countries in the world, we choose not to acknowledge.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fucking insane. So, yeah, the sadness. Fucking crazy fucking movie. Chinese, fucking so good. So good. Yeah, sadness. Great movie. Great movie. Fantastic.
Alright, so I'm going to move on to my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I got some honorable mentions too.
I have a few. First one right off the bat is the original and the first remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh, good choices.
The rest of them kind
of choices.
Became more comedy horror to me.
Yeah.
It became a little more comedy horror to me, not really horror movies. with the original old.
Yeah, comedy in the sense that they try to throw some comedic tropes in there to kind of alleviate from the tension.
Yeah.
So that we kind of laugh, like, oh. It's a moment where we kind of laugh a little bit, and then it's like, oh, well, there's a little bit of horror, but I just got to laugh, and I don't feel as scared.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you have movies that are just straight fucking parodies, like Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is fucking hilarious. Yeah. God damn, I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, that movie's just...
That's a straight comedy movie. That's not even horror. It's just like, no, what the fuck? So, it's not like Shaun of the Dead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's more like there's some comedic breaks in there to kind of break the tension, to make sure it's one of those things that makes it easier for people to kind of stomach if something atrocious is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Or if something crazy, scary happens, you're not as scared because you feel a little bit of relief.
Yeah, got some breather in there. But I like the old original, the first remake.
Yeah, 1970
something. Right?
76, I think. I can look it up on Shudder. It's on Shudder. like literally, as you can see, I literally just pulled it up because I had the app open. Yeah, he loves Texas Chainsaw Massacre was 1974. It was off by 2 years. Yeah, that one original Texas Chainsaw. Yeah. Love it. Which again was crazy. That actually happened. Yeah, that actually happened. A lot of people, and I think a lot of younger people don't realize Texas Chainsaw Massacre is something that actually happened. That's based on a true fucking story.
Yeah. So where we're at here in Lubbock, and you're driving to Dallas, there is an off ramp on the way to Dallas to go past that house. Yeah. There is a way you can get there. It is a real place that really exists, and I have drove by it before. Yeah. And I did not have to because it was just still creepy.
What I think is so iconic from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is that fucking sound. That sound in the beginning of the movies. Where that pick, high pitch. Let me see.
Real high pitch, like it's so hard to describe, but once you hear it, you know it. You're like, fuck, I'm watching this shit. Why am I watching this? I'm gonna enjoy it, but why am I watching this? I don't know. I've always loved that movie. I always thought it was really good. And I can kind of attribute it to my dad.
This one here.
All the more tragic in that they were young, but had they lived very, very long lives, they could not have expected.
Yeah, that shit was creepy. I enjoyed the shit out of it. But anyways, back to the show. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah, that to me, that sound is so fucking iconic. You hear that, and if you know, it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You hear that sound, you're like, oh fuck, dude. Yep. We're about to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Doesn't matter which one. You hear that fucking sound, you're like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
And
I do like that out of all the remakes they made, they kept that sound.
Yes, because it's so iconic. The thing is, those officers, the people who actually saw what happened, like how do you deal with that? It's like a standard beat police officer. You're not even a detective. You're not somebody who is in the homicide unit. You're not somebody who is seeing this kind of shit every single day, and then you fucking go and look at it, and you're like, holy fuck, dude, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
So that's my honorable mention. I wanted to put it at number 2, but
fuck it, dude. I got several honorable mentions before my number 1.
All right, so give me an honorable mention so I have time to think about my next one.
Honorable mention. Since I already did the Devil's Rejects, honorable mention is going to be those two I already talked about, the Devil's Rejects and the Devil's Rejects and Three from Hell. The Devil's Rejects, just really played more on them, being like, this is after the events that happened after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I think the part that's crazy is after they were tortured in that movie, that iconic scene, the ending is the most iconic scene because, you're playing fucking Leonard Skinner's Freebird.
Oh, yeah.
Freebird, and they're driving in this fucking topless Cadillac. And they come up on this fucking, line of police officers, right? A line of police officers all fucking armed at the ready, shotguns, rifles, pistols, gonna stop these guys. and then it gets to the fucking crescendo, the top of the top on that fucking Freebird song. You know, fucking the top of the song. Fucking full blast, drive straight into that fucking line of fire. And you just see that. They're shooting back at the police, and they're just getting shot to shit. They're getting shot to fucking shit, bro. And it's like, holy fuck. Holy fuck, dude. And then it just ends that way. It ends that way. This fucking picture frame, picture, they catch the picture, you know, they're fucking blood coming out of their body as they're getting hit with bullets. And it's just like, Jesus, dude. Fucking Free from Hell, dude. That movie just ended fucking crazy, man. They killed a fucking Mexican cartel member, the head dude in that area, and I'm like, Jesus, right? Something that's unthinkable. Something that's unthinkable. You know, you think of the cartel, you're like, man, invincible fucking force. They have fighting. They have the numbers. They have the fighting power, right? You know what I'm saying? Even if you're a skilled operator, you know what I'm saying? You know, doesn't matter how skilled you are. You know, if you're looking at fucking force power over you, you know what I'm saying? People are a force multiplier. Yeah. The more people you have, the more skilled people you have, the bigger the force multiplier, and the lower your chances of coming out of a situation like that unscathed are. These motherfuckers, dude, it's like they won't die. It's literally like Satan himself is possessing these fucking people, and he just will not let them fucking die. So just those movies, I'm just like, God damn, bro. And I remember listening to the song, you know, by Rob Zombie, you know, The Devil's Reject. And I remember listening to that, and it just had like this visceral fucking, like I had this feeling in pride a little bit. And I was like, man, dude, I feel like a Devil's Reject. Not good enough for heaven, but not good enough for hell either. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, like, and, you know, I don't know if I still feel that way, but, you know, fuck me. Like, I guess, you know, in a way I do feel that way. Not good enough for heaven, but I'm so fucked up, I think even hell wouldn't want my ass. So, you know, I'm trying to, and I'm a better person now because of it, but, you know, I do believe no matter what, you will atone for the things that you've done. Period. So, you know, I just, So that's my second honorable mention, which is a group, because it more or less encompasses the trilogy of it.
My next one will have to be, so I have 4, so this is my second. Second honorable mention would be The Shining.
Good. Solid fucking movie, dude. Solid movie. So just The Shining, or are you talking about The Shining trilogy, or not trilogy, but I guess duo movie, Dr. Sleep? Just Dr. Sleep is fucking crazy, dude. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, because I think the most fucked up scene in Dr. Sleep is when they killed that kid. Yeah. And that, I think for a lot of people that was, because it felt so real. They cut away from everything. The way that the little kid presented the way they were killing him, dude. If you put that in like a found footage type of way, you'd probably think that was a real snuff. Oh, yeah. You would probably think that's a real snuff film.
Yeah. Yeah. Shining, that whole little dual film thing, yeah, that's another mention. Shining, it's always stuck with me.
It's so iconic. It's so iconic, dude. It's so good. Like, the way everything unfolded, and you're just like, hey, Danny, you want to play? This is like, oh, shit! No! I'm going to turn this fucking tricycle around. Yeah, I can't hold the hallways too. I gotta go for it. Help! And then the fucking blood, dude.
Oh,
the blood to the hallway. Yes. Dude, back then, dude, you were like, oh, God, what the fuck? You know, like now you're just like, holy shit, that's a lot of blood. Where did you get all that from? Did you go to a blood bank? Holy shit. And again, the progression of effects, you know, blood back then versus blood now. Dude, you can go buy blood, like fake blood at the store, and it looks real. Mm-hmm. It looks fucking real, dude. Like, the color, the hue of the red, the syrupiness of how blood flows, like, it looks fucking real. Yeah. You spread it the way that it looks on flesh, it looks fucking real. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. I'm telling you, dude, like, because again, you know, I'm not a fucking horror film expert or anything, but I feel like I've seen enough to, like, know and see and just more or less the progression that horror films have taken. Because I watched a lot of genres of movies, and I think the 2 genres I feel I'm best to talk about are, like, action movies, stuff, you know, martial arts and stuff like that, because I watched most of that stuff with my dad growing up, and I continue to watch it, and horror movies. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm a little bit more I'm a little bit. I can talk more in horror movies than action movies because even then I probably talk about both just almost equally, but horror movies just a little bit more because I enjoy them just a little bit more.
Yeah.
I like that fucking. I think I don't like to shy away from that dark side, and I think that's what scares people. Is then that in horror movies, that's why they're so scary to people because people don't like to delve into that dark part of human nature. You know what I'm saying? The ideals of everything, maybe it scares some people, or maybe they feel like it might corrupt them. But I feel like you have to have a little bit of dark. You can't be a light all the time.
Oh no.
Because you cannot deny the duality of man. You cannot.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 honorable mention.
Yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Really?
I really like that movie.
Yeah, that's comedy, bro. That's
I know it's comedy, but god damn it, dude, it's so good.
comedy.
I know it is, but it's so good. It's still horror. It's still horror. For what it was back then. It's stupid and silly, but even then it still has a horror aspect to it. It is kind of funny. But I like that movie.
Yeah, it's good movie. It's stupid, but it's good movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I will not deny that. It is absolutely fucking stupid, but it is so fucking good.
Alright, so my number 3 honorable mention, which I'm going to kind of differentiate now a little bit. I don't know, for some reason I just really enjoy this movie, is that movie Trick or Treat.
Oh, yes, that's a really good movie.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
It just makes me, Halloween. I watch that movie and it makes me think of Halloween in a small town.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, I just really enjoy that movie. I like the little, what's his name, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool dude. I want to dress up my little one like that.
Yeah.
Just Sam. Give him a little, freak the fuck out of everybody.
Hell
He's
yeah.
small too.
Hell yeah.
Alright, your next one? Alright, I got my next one if you want to take
No, I know what it is.
Okay.
Okay, it's on Shudder. It's a more recent one. It's fucked up. It's an attack on the whole concept of religion. It's called The Dark and the Wicked. It's a Shudder original. So the whole preface, the whole thing with the movie is the mom is dealing with a sick husband, and apparently in this movie the mom and the whole family, they were never religious growing up. Like the religion just didn't exist. It exists inside the house. And so as the dad's getting sicker, the mom starts to receive visits from what she believes to be a creature. And she's just out toxic. You find this out later in the movie, though. But it starts off with the mom, kind of talking to herself, seeing shit, and then she winds up hanging herself in the barn, where all the fucking lambs and shit are at. Hangs herself in the barn. All right, so sister and brother come back, and they're having to deal with that, and the dad. And so they start talking to this creature too. The creature shows up, so talking to them. People they know start dying. So by the end of the movie's time frame, the brother goes home because he's like, I can't be here anymore. Like, this is all so fucked up, I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? Then it cuts back. Sister's there with Preacher. Preacher is the fucking devil. The preacher is presenting himself in what people would perceive to be a good person. You wouldn't see a preacher, somebody, father, somebody who fucking black collared, little white square in the middle, a father. Father, the Catholic Church, right? Brother goes home. He sees in his mind what he thinks. He thinks he sees his 2 children, his 2 daughters, and his wife with their throats slit open. He's in the house. He's crying. He's grabbing what he thinks is his daughters. There's nothing there. In all reality, there's nothing there. So then he's so fucking whelmed with what he's seeing, he slits his own throat open. As he's slitting his own throat open, the images disappear. The house is empty. Wife and kids walk in and find him dead, with his own throat slit open. He slit his own throat open. And then the devil comes back and fucking finishes the job with the daughter, and the dad fucking kills the daughter. Yeah, it's a fucked up movie, dude. But dude, it is so.
And what's it called again?
It's called The Dark and the Wicked. Yeah, there's a scene where the nurse, she's knitting, and the devil gets in her mind, makes her stick the knitting needle in her fucking eye and start digging that shit in, and I was like, oh, fuck, man! Holy shit! Oh, that was painful, man! Let me hear it squish. That was like, oh, fuck! Yeah, so, The Dark and the Wicked. What I really like about Shudder is that, dude, Jesus fucking Christ, their originals, Shudder originals, dude, Jesus, bro, they are so fucking good. They're fucking good. I wouldn't think for an app that's like $5-6 a month would be able to create originals like that. But goddamn, bro, next fucking level for me. I'm like, holy! When I watched The Dark and the Wicked, and they have constant movies running on a show. They just run them live. They run them live. So when I watched this, when I started watching it, it was like the middle of the movie, and I'm watching. I'm like, man, this seems really interesting. So I went and added it to my list, cut it off so I could watch it later. I'm watching it, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck. Were you want to watch this? Of course you didn't, but, I'm just like, fuck, dude. That shit was fucked up. That shit was fucked up, man. I like it.
Alright, so my last honorable mention is gonna, I would say horror, but it makes me think Halloween. I enjoy it for Halloween purposes. Is Coraline.
That's definitely that's definitely. It's kids Halloween, but no, it has a Halloween vibe to it. Kind of like a Franken movie. Yeah. Or the Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Halloween. Yeah, it's so like Nightmare Before Christmas is like that's art. That's Christmas / Halloween. It's both. It's both, I think, in my opinion. But no, Coraline definitely.
Yeah.
I think out of all of the movies, though, that one's really creepy with the button eyes.
Oh yeah.
Like the way the mom's eyes and just like the little X's, and then just how creepy her face gets. So like that one, no, I genuinely think that is it's not horror per se, but it's children's horror.
Yeah.
It's not like horror. That for an adult, you're like, it's kind of creepy, but like for a kid, that might be like, holy fuck, holy shit. Like if they got like a Raggedy Ann, they probably make those. Goddamn, I'm over here fucking being old and shit. I'm like, fucking Raggedy Andy dolls. I remember my sister had those as a kid. Dude, those scared me fucking shit. Those
okay. Not the Annabelle looking Raggedy Ann dolls.
No,
that's not the Raggedy Ann. Raggedy Ann, the whole other fucking doll.
No, but that's what the actual Annabelle is.
Yeah, the actual Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, she's a Raggedy Ann doll. Yeah,
but like the movie.
Yeah, it has a porcelain. Even though those porcelain dolls scare the fucking
porcelain dolls are creepy.
They're fucking scary, but no, that's what it reminds me of, like Raggedy Ann dolls. My sister had two of them. My mom had them hanging on the wall, and they scared the shit out of me as a kid. My mom would always go tell me to go turn your sister's light off. I'm fucking reaching in the room like this, like got my fucking light. I'm not trying to go in the fucking room. It's dark. Click the light off. Fucking run down the little fucking hallway, man. I wasn't trying to do that shit, dude. I was scared of those fucking dolls, man.
Raggedy Ann dolls are pretty creepy. Alright, so my number one movie, you mentioned it a second ago, is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, I just enjoyed the movie. No, yeah, it's a good.
I love musicals, so I love singing along to the movie.
Okay,
and I think the movie is just good in general. You just can't go wrong with that movie. And yeah, I think it's a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie.
It is. Very much so.
Just like Die Hard.
Yeah, Christmas movie. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. You're not gonna argue with me. It is a Christmas movie. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's what it is. It's a Christmas movie. You want to face reality? Come talk to me. I'll give you some dad advice.
Alright, so what's your number one?
So my number one movie, Bree knows. So my number one horror movie, and it's in my top 5 movies of all time. That includes action movies, like all overall genres. This movie's top 5. Yeah, actually, I think it might be top 3. So it's a movie called Mandy. So it has Nicolas Cage, and I remember I went to go watch this movie with my boy Danny. So the movie started out. So like I guess it was more like a preview, but it was like a music video. And there's this song by a band called Policia, and the song is called "Why Is This Happen?" But there was these images with it. And I'm sitting there watching it. And the song starts off kind of slow, somber, but then it picks up and gets really fucking creepy. Bree hates that part. Like, it's like violins, like fucking screeching, and it's just like, it's fucked up. So, anyways, the movie, the premise is, I mean, it's a Nicolas Cage movie. So it's not, I wouldn't say necessarily, it's like cosmic horror. It's like cosmic horror, psychological type of shit. So him and his wife, they're living in the middle of the forest, and this like Charles Manson wannabe motherfucker takes his whole cult, and they snatch him and his wife up. Try to drug the wife and convince her to have sex with him. You see the cult leader's penis in the movie. It's just like, you want this? And she starts laughing. She's like, I got a dick. Yeah, we're on the dick. I got no penis like that. So she's laughing at him, and he's just like, shut up. She's on acid and shit. And he's like jacking off. Shut up. And she's just laughing at him. She starts screaming. Shit gets crazy, right? He goes outside, and he's just like, yeah, you look fucking whore. You know, and you think you're so fucking happy. Fucking stab. They stab him. They stab Nicolas Cage. I have his fucking hands bound with barbed wire above his head, so it's like fucking all bleeding and shit. Then the next thing happens. They bring his wife out in a nylon sleeping bag. Yeah. They douse the fucking sleeping bag with gasoline, and they burn her alive in front of him. Wow. And the way the bag is moving, dude, I swear to fucking Christ, they had to have somebody in there, like in a fire suit or something. And just like, the way the body is moving around, dude, I was like, holy fuck. Crazy. And it cuts to a scene where you see her mouth like this, like through the sack, like all the shit burning around. You see her mouth just kind of like muttering and like, I'm sorry. And it's like she's burning alive. And they leave her burning alive in front of them. So they leave. He finally breaks out. He goes and grabs the rest of what's her ashes. Her skull is still intact as it like falls apart because it's been cremated. Goes in there, passes out, and then the scene where he goes and grabs a bottle of vodka that he had hidden in the fucking register. That's next level alcoholism right there. It's like, gonna have an emergency stash just in case it run out underneath the fucking towels. Pulls out a bottle of vodka, and he did an interview with this, I think, where the vodka, it was real alcohol. He drank more than like half a bottle of vodka in like a fucking minute scene. Damn. He sitting there screaming and crying, and he's just like screaming, crying, and he does the famous Nicolas Cage scream, like he goes fucking crazy. The rest of the movie is a fucking trip. Starts off slow. He winds up getting these fucking drugs. So he does cocaine first. It's basically Nicolas Cage on cocaine and this weird PCP acid type of shit. And he's on a fucking rampage, killing everything. And it's crazy, dude. It's crazy how he fucking kills everybody. But that movie, to me, is a masterpiece. There's not a lot of dialogue, and I think that's for Marie. That's like one of the things that really bothered her. Is there's too much dialogue, and then there's not enough dialogue. For her, it has to be in the middle, and it has to be funny, and it has to be all these things. Well, for me, I think the art lies in the way that the movie presents itself, how it presents itself in the way that it's telling the story. That, to me, that's why it's in my top 3. I love Nicolas Cage, you know what I'm saying? I love him as an actor, the way he goes fucking apeshit. But in that movie, to me, that's, in my opinion, one of his best fucking performances. And to me, that's one of the best movies that's ever been fucking made. The fucking way that the story unfolded, the way it told the story through certain, like, almost like, I don't know if you guys know of there's a comic book thing, it's called Heavy Metal. So, yeah, Heavy Metal, it's like there's certain parts where there's a cartoon that's happening, style, almost like Heavy Metal. And it's so good. It is so fucking good. And it's a movie I recommend everybody see. It may not be your style, give it a shot. Try to watch it all the way through the end. And you tell me whether or not you like it. Comment in the video. Fucking email us through Spotify. Tell me as to whether or not you like Man. Because that movie to me is a masterpiece. And I don't know anybody else outside of my friend Danny who's seen it with me. That's agreement. because he's the one who actually invited me to see it.
Yeah.
He hit me up. He's like, "Hey, you, me, Alamo, pitcher of beer." I'm like, "I'm in. I'm in. You got me at you." He was like, "Do you want to watch an '80s slasher synthwave horror movie?" I'm like, "Fucking everything I love in one sentence: beer, synthwave, and horror. Let's go. Let's go. It's not even a question. Let's go." So fantastic movie. That's my number one horror movie recommendation.
Nice.
So,
Alrighty, guys, that's our top 5 Halloween horror movies list, and we really appreciate y'all sticking through with us through this lengthy and very in-depth conversation we've had. Absolutely, it was fun. I enjoyed it. If you guys are interested in some Halloween, I guess you could say inspired rum, Deadhead rum.
Deadhead rum. Good fucking choice.
Really good, really good. We enjoyed it. Some cherry vanilla coke.
Yep.
Good cocktail.
That's really all you need. Cherry vanilla Coke and some fucking Deadhead rum, and
You're pretty set. Oh, you go. The thing we need to find out though, before we close this out, it is 40% alcohol, 80 proof, so kind of standard.
yeah, standard across the board for most of your
Not
stuff.
bad, not bad.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. Thank you guys for sticking with us. We appreciate y'all. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Comment, you guys. Please comment. Give us some recommendations. What are your favorite horror movies? What do you think should have been on our list? What do you think are on your list? Do you agree, disagree? Do you think some of our movies are shit? Do you be like, hey, Fabian, we're going to go watch this movie you're talking about?
Right.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys just interact in the comments, and we'll try to interact back and let you guys know where to find this stuff. Majority of the things that I talked about, if not all of them, are on Shudder. So I'm a big advocate for Shudder. Maybe one day, hopeful sponsor the podcast. Maybe the Twitch channel, but that would be super dope. But Shudder, super fucking dope.
Yeah, speaking of Twitch, guys, go check out his Twitch channel.
Yes, RBGs123. Go check me out. I'm going to be streaming tonight and tomorrow since we're at school and I'm off for Indigenous Peoples / Columbus Day, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I'm going to try to stream tonight, finish up Infinite Warfare, and hopefully start and finish Call of Duty World War II tomorrow. So that way I only have Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard to finish, which is the last 2 campaigns that I'm trying to finish before the week of the 2 weeks from now. No, next week. Fuck. So yeah, I got 3 campaigns to finish next week, so I'm going to definitely be doing some late night streaming and trying to get this shit done. So you guys go over, comment, fucking, dude, just come chat it up with me. The stream for me, dude, like, if you guys come by, stream, whatever, come by and chat it up with me, like, I can play games and talk to you. I'm all about it. It's very interactive. It's not like this podcast or the YouTube, you guys are consuming the content, but over there, I can interact, talk with you guys. If you guys want to talk some shit about the podcast, you guys just want to holler at me in general, find me on Twitch and on YouTube and on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. RPGs123. That's what you're looking for.
Again, guys, for us, we really appreciate y'all. We call a shout podcast on just about everything: Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, all that. Share this with everybody, guys. Let them know, like, hey, these dumbasses are doing Halloween-themed liquors and talking about horror movies.
And speaking of Halloween theme, next week for the YouTube, we will actually be dressed up as something for Halloween.
Yeah.
So we definitely hope you guys will enjoy that. And
It's going to get hot.
yeah, it's going to get hot. Yeah, just a little bit. So, yeah.
Well, we hope you'll come along, guys. And again, we really appreciate y'all. And I guess we'll be heading out now.
Yep. Okay, make war loudly, make love silent.